Tinubu is a criminal, yes, of course, a categorical grade 1 criminal. The only person more criminal than Tinubu in Nigeria is probably Babangida. But he's a criminal, and is he fit for purpose? Absolutely not. Should Tinubu be the president of Nigeria? Categorical no. Is there a better option than him? That is subjective. So show me who he is.
No, this rally make my blood pressure go up.
And the people who are asking a platform for him, who are supporting him.
So you should get a filter sometimes, filter your thoughts before you say.
I'll continue to take blood pressure medication.
Why are you getting high blood pressure, Jonava? Now,
I'm not taking medication for myself. I'm taking it for people like Paul and some of you guys that after the January, February something, and then people like Soludo, that is a good spoiler. I thank God for his life. He's working for my godfather.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Have Your Say 247. Today is the 16th of November. It's a Saturday. Love and greetings from Kent, England. Dr. Damages will not be with us today. He's on assignment, as he likes to say. So for those of you who've come to see Dr. Damages, he's not going to be here today. But of course, you've got myself. What more can you ask for? I'm going to be your pilot for the next 3 hours. I'll be anchoring the show until I hand over to one of my colleagues who will be taking over in the next 3 hours. So over the next 3 hours, there are a few topics we're going to be discussing. And of course, feel free to prefer solutions, because I know a lot of people, we get their backs up the minute we say we're going to be discussing Nigerian topics or issues emanating from Nigeria. So please feel free to discuss solutions to some of these issues that would come up. So one of the issues will be Ondo State indigenes have gone to the polls to elect their new governor. During the week, news broke, according to some investigative work done by David Hundeyin, that President Tinubu is a CIA asset. We'll discuss that. What do you make of that finding? Is it news to you? Is it something you've been aware of? And those who disagree, we'd like to have your opinion. Let's all come and discuss respectfully. That's why we're here. It's a talk shop. I will keep saying that. Also, we'll be discussing Edo State, for those who want to chime in on that. Edo State have elected their new governor Monday. Okpebholo has been sworn in. And Godwin Obaseki, his predecessor, allegedly have disappeared into thin air. He's gone for medical checkup. He's gone for a break. Nobody knows where he's gone to for this break or for this medical checkup. Also, we'll be talking about the news that came out of Nigeria last week or this week, where Pastor Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God said that Naira would have been 10,000 to $1, if not for the prayer of himself and a few other people who agreed to pray that, Naira is at least around 1,700 to $1. So we'll be discussing that. We'll also discuss Wike as he continues to antagonize PDP and anyone who challenges President Tinubu. So these are some of the topics we'll be discussing over the next 3 hours. Hopefully we'll be able to cover all these topics. I'm going to start by sharing a few videos, and also we'll be discussing Daniel Bwala, who was working with the APC campaign team until President Tinubu chose Kashim Shettima, and that was enough reason for Daniel Bwala to leave, because he did not believe Nigeria needed a Muslim ticket. So he left being a Christian himself. He said he couldn't work for President Tinubu's campaign, and he went to work for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. So he campaigned, vigorously for Atiku Abubakar, said all sort of things about President Tinubu, who was a candidate at the time. And this week, President Tinubu has appointed him as Ajuri Ngelale's replacement. So Daniel Bwala has come back to APC. He's now one of the spokes or special assistants to President Tinubu. We'll discuss that, and what you all think of Daniel Bwala or characters like Daniel Bwala, because Daniel Bwala is not alone in this flip-flopping. So I think we'll start with Pastor Adeboye. Let's listen to what Pastor Adeboye said, and we'll end it with the President Tinubu's case, or the Freedom of Information Act by David Hundeyin and his partners in the US. So that will be the last topic of the day. Let's start with Pastor Adeboye.
Before our president came in, everybody knew that the major reasons why we were having financial problems, we'll be having it before he came in, is the fact that a lot of money was being spent to import petrol. How can we be importing petrol where we have this in abundance here? We spent billions of naira on our refineries. They didn't work. So we can be able to keep on importing. That's why when the president came in, the very first day he came, he said, this money they spend in importing petrol, he says he cancelled it. And we were all rejoicing. Hey, thank God. But some people were angry. Those who were making money from importing petrol. And they decided, okay, we will create a problem. And all of a sudden, Naira began to go down fast. I cried to my people, let us pray. Thank God some people joined me in praying. Because the way Naira was going then, if God has not intervened, by now $1 will be about 10,000 Naira. But God stepped in.
Right, so you've all heard what Pastor Adeboye said, that the prayer of the righteous stopped or arrested the free fall of Naira, and that's why we're not changing $1 to 10,000 Naira. So we can infer that is saying that we should be grateful that it's still 1,716 to $1. Well, to join me in this conversation, I'm going to bring the panelists in. I'm going to share the link. Please put your camera on, and you will be able to join us in the studio to have a conversation. And when you join, please, I want to implore you, let the moderator do the job of the moderator. Things like, remove this person, remove that person. As a panelist, I do not expect that from any of our panelists. Please let the moderator moderate. Like Rudolph will say, trust that I know what I'm doing. If anyone needs to be removed, leave that to me to make that decision. If you have any issues at all, I will try and share the email address for your complaints. Send your complaint to that email address, and we'll try and get back to you in 10 working days, which is 2 weeks. So if there are any issues, any complaints, something you're not happy about, send your complaints. This show going forward would not tolerate people coming up and complaining about the next person. We just want to have a clean show, no complaints, no tantrums, none of that. Disagree with people, but let's be respectful towards one another. Also, if you're familiar with this show, you know we have some ground rules. If you're going to join us on the panel or come into the studio, you cannot be eating while you're on the panel. Your camera cannot be off. If you need to drop off, let us know and we'll put you in the backstage and we'll bring you back when you're ready. So you can't be eating, you can't be chewing gum, you can't lay down, you can't be slouching on the couch. And the minimum requirement is a round neck t-shirt. A polo shirt or a shirt like I'm wearing is okay. If you want to come in your 3-piece tuxedo, we're happy to have you. But please, some of the rules are quite straightforward and simple. You can't be driving and join us. So if you're driving, don't request that we bring you into the studio. Your safety is important to us. So these are some of the things. You can have your drink. You can have water like I'm having. You can have whatever drink you want to have. Alcohol will not be tolerated. Simply because once you drink, I drink myself, I know what that would do to you the minute somebody says your head look like coconut. You know, something you'll probably laugh off, you just go mental. And so that's why we discourage drinking alcohol while on the show. Flagship, welcome to the show. KJ, good to have you. Anyone with moderating powers, please, if and when the studio gets full, you can help me move people around. I'm happy for you to help me move people around. It's totally fine. Or if I leave people backstage, anyone with moderating powers on the panel, please, you know, help me, support me to bring people in and out. I have no issues with you bringing people in and out, as long as it's not personal vendetta. All right, so we've all listened to what Pastor Adeboye said. A lot of Nigerians have been discussing this issue over the last 48 hours. And none of that is not relevant. It's distraction. If it's a distraction, just log off and go do something else. When we start discussing important things, come back and we'll be happy to have you. So I'll start with you, KJ. Off the back of what Pastor Adeboye said, I know you're a Christian and you're a firm believer, you know, in Christ, and you're a man of faith and the rest of it. Where do you stand on such proclamations?
Well, thank you, Show, for hosting, and thank you, Flagship, for coming in, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Here's what I would say, and it's becoming. I have great respect for what's his name now, Adeboye, but on this instance, I think this is why we have been having issue in Christendom. When you pander to try to use the name of God or the word of God to now hide in certain things going on in society, to say that God supports it or God, you know, because I remember some years ago, you carried a placard to demonstrate against Goodluck Jonathan. You led a very massive crusade. At that time, you didn't pray so that God will change the issue. Now, you have the ear of this government. If you wanted to make an impression, the best would have been to go to the leadership and say to them, look, the people are suffering. Because in this country, it has happened. We used to have a man, a bishop, Archbishop Dahosa, who was literally putting everybody on their toes when he gets to your place. He does not, you know, spare whether you're a leader or you're a follower. He tells you the way it is. So for me, having come to that level where he is in you know, Christianity, I think it was beneath him. I don't think he was speaking from the leadings of the Holy Spirit. Because if he was, and I don't take anything away from him, he's a great man of God. He's been used by God over the years, and many people know, or whether we know it or not, are in the movement called the Redeemed Church of God. But in this instance, if you ask me, why will you make such a statement? So God is not able to change the economy of Nigeria, reduce the price of food? Is it not? Why didn't you pray that the cost of Gari should come down, despite the Naira going up, or, you know, so that things will be stable? So I think it was not one of those things that I can say it was his best time. Remember that David, despite the fact that David was a great man of God, at one time, he was moved to count the people of Israel. And, you know, for that move alone, he lost almost how many, you know, 100-something thousand people perished because of that move. So I think at this time, I would say that Pastor Adeboye has not spoken well. And I don't think what he said is the reason why the Naira, because you can see literally that the Naira is falling because of our bad policy, because of our bad actions, because of the things that the government have failed to put in place. It is not, you know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that. Because you get money, is God not blessing Nigeria? Is it not God that put the mineral resources in the ground in Nigeria? Is it God? It's not God that has been holding the Nigerian issue all this while. Why did you not, intervene in that way? So okay, first and foremost, I don't know how to start, but I think it was his bad day. It was just a bad day for him. Let's take it that way. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, KJ. So it's a bad day in the office for Baba Adeboye, the flagship. So, still on the topic, do you think age could be a factor in some of the utterances Pastor Adeboye is making lately? Because he's 82, I think he's 82 years old. And with age, some of these things, might happen. Do you think it's high time that maybe as a country we look at retiring some of our men of God so that they can protect their image that they've built over the years? I mean, say whatever you like about Redeem, they've helped a few people along the way. Maybe they've profited more than they've helped people. That's debatable. But with age, some of these utterances is becoming one too many, especially from Pastor Adeboye. So do you think, he's still chiming on what he said, but also to talk about, should we be retiring them so that they can keep their dignity?
Well, thank you, Sho. It's good to see you again on the show. And KJ, it's good to see you again. Thank you for having me. Yes, let me start by saying this. I want to think that that video was AI generated. All right. I don't want because I least expected this to come out of Pastor Adeboye. So I would want to lean on the part that maybe this was doctored somewhere and is put out there on the internet to make it look like he said what he said. Now, if it happens to be true that he said this, then he has begun a process of destroying every bit of the legacy that he should have been leaving behind. And like KJ rightly said, it must be his bad day. But you see, these are the kind of things that happen when religion begin to pander towards politics. And when you benefit from politicians, you tend to toe this line and say things of this nature and care less about the people. That's the part that really pains me most, to say that when Tinubu came out to say subsidies removed, everybody was rejoicing. I would like to ask him to tell me who in his church rejoiced that gas jumped from 200 Naira a liter to 700, and then we're talking of 1,400 now. Who in his church there is rejoicing that a bag of rice is now what, 110? Who there in his church is rejoicing that they can't buy tomatoes, 3 seeds, without spending over 800 Naira? Who there in his church is rejoicing that to go from their home to the redemption camp there where they meet, they are paying almost 3, maybe 4 times the cost? So here's my answer to your question. I think age may be playing a factor here, and it's time to retire. Because when you get to this age, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not saying anything clinically wise, but from research and from what I've read in the past, when you approach this age, there tends to be some sort of misspoken words that are not intended, which when you go back and sit down and think about it, you feel like you said the wrong thing, which of course he's done before many times. And recently he came out to say one thing he said was wrong. So I think it's time for him to retire and play back support. If not, if he keeps taking this trajectory that he's going to destroy everything that he has created legacy-wise, and it will put his church in a very, very bad shape after he's gone.
Okay. Thank you, Flagship, for your submission. I just wanted to acknowledge a few of our guys in the comment section. EK, thank you. You said, show, thank you. Show for the show. Good morning. Good evening from Little England. Dr. Alexander Gomez. AGK, I see you in the comment section. Meaning TV, salute to you. Pokey, Henry Gabriel, coming with the fire and the anger. Henry, no they grief for anybody. 2024, no grief for anybody. Henry is spitting fire already. Jerry Inwibo, I see you. Triniton, Amoru, Ismaila, Shegun. Oh, Shegun, not seeing you on the panel in a minute. Hope you're well. Ayola Latunji, Don Anthony, and Bot Y. I see you too. Thank you for engaging in the comment section. Let's keep it clean. It looks really good at the minute, so let's hope it continues that way. So I'll come back to the panel. Man of prestige, I know that today you will disappoint all your enemies. You won't ask me what are we discussing. I know. You won't say what's the topic. you all your enemies, you will disappoint them today.
So put me in the backstage for 2 minutes.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Message. Welcome to the show. You've listened to the topic we're discussing, our first topic. So KJ said something when he was giving a submission that, Baba Adeboye could have gone and spoken to the people in power because he has direct access. Remember, the First Lady, Remi Tinubu, she's an ordained pastor of Redeem. She was ordained about 5-6 whatever years ago. The immediate past vice president, Professor Shibajo, is a Redeem pastor. The EFCC boss is a Redeem pastor. So we have a lot of Redeem pastors in government. Baba Adeboye has direct access to them. Do you think it would have been a better idea to go and speak to his children and express the suffering of the masses? Or do you think Baba Adeboye himself does not even understand the suffering of the masses? He's totally cut off because he has everything he needs.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Greeting everybody. I'm sure nice to see you today, Mr. KJ. Very, revolution and Mr. Ike. Nice to see you too. So greeting to everybody. Yeah. I don't know where to begin with the kind of statement that he made in reference to the Naira and the man of God. Things would have if he's not praying. So Naira would have gone to 10,000 Naira. So how did he come up with that? How did he come up with that number? Where we are right now.
Don't forget, he's a mathematician.
Oh, he is?
So numbers are his thing. So maybe.
Yeah, I was just wondering how he come up to 10,000 Naira, not even 2,000, not even 3,000 or whatever, So he has been praying. Naira could have gone to 10,000 Naira. So I begin to wonder where's the number coming from. I think what's happening in Nigeria is that, people are being deceived. I mean, they just came out, and just make an utterance that doesn't even make sense. I mean, even a little kid that was born yesterday knowing that what he said was utterly nonsense. So it's part of the deceit we have in Nigeria with the pastors. In my own opinion, I mean, I'm not going to stay here, ask him to, to go retire or whatever. But it just showed how they're in cahoots with the government. I mean, the people ruling this country, the government, the pastors, and everything, they're, they're in the same category. So there's nothing really different about them. That's all I have to say in that regard, because that's a nonsense statement, in my own opinion. Is he going to retire? So I think somebody said he needs to retire. I mean, it's not a good age. That's just the way he's. That's the way I see that.
Thank you, man of prestige. So, Revolution, Dan, my friend, welcome to the show. The topic we're discussing is Baba Adeboye's statement regarding the prayer of the righteous, himself and a few other Christians who have prayed, and they've halted Naira from falling, as low as 10,000 Naira to $1. What do you think, as a man of revolution, what do you think Nigerian Christians can do to hold their religious leaders accountable for statements such as this? Because it's almost insulting to Nigerians.
Good evening to everybody. Greetings. And but first, before I make any statement, sure, I want to ask everybody in the panel: do these churches pay tax to Nigeria? Do they pay tax, or can you hear me?
Yes, you said you wanted to ask the panelists, so I was leaving it to the panelists. Anyone who can answer.
Or even you can answer, because I don't know. I want to start my argument today. Do they pay tax? Because they are an organization.
I'm not aware that they pay tax. I'm not aware that they pay tax.
KJ, anybody know about this? If they pay tax to Nigeria?
Yes, they pay tax.
They pay tax as a company.
The poor companies pay tax. Yes, the rich don't pay tax.
No, he's asking about churches. The churches in Nigeria.
No, they don't pay tax.
They don't pay tax.
Churches don't pay tax because they are registered as NGOs, so they don't pay tax. Sorry for interrupting.
No, I wanted that answer before I continue, before I make my base. So now you see what we were saying, what I've been saying, that all churches in Nigeria and all so-called pastors and they are all criminals. Only we Nigerians, we are the kind of people, we like to paint things. We like to continue, now so they do them. Somebody will might argue now, oh, it's not everybody. Don't put everybody as one. For me, anybody who call himself a churchman in Nigeria, they are all criminals because they use people's mind. This is what it is. They use your mind. They hypnotize you. Okay, we Nigerians, we believe in, oh, God go bless you. With all those prayers, it go better for you, this and that. Today in Nigeria, nobody go talk say prayer they work for that country because we see what thing they happen in Nigeria. If the way people, they always, God go bless you, Nigeria won't be as it is. You understand? If there are some people say, if they not tell you God bless you, you go even hate themselves. Why this man not tell me God bless you upon what I did to him? So when we talk about this brother now, this Adeboye or whatever they call themselves, it's not too old. We have people of 90 years, when they talk to you with their senses. That man is not old. To me, it doesn't appear as he doesn't know what he's saying. The problem is when you have been cheating for a long time, there will be a time God will be exposing you. Is it not the same person who told us he usually drinks 3 cups of tea with his wife, and then one day God took the 3rd one and was telling you are too greedy? He told us, instead, he said that God was drinking with him to celebrate him. But in my own interpretation, God was telling him, you are greedy. How can you drink 3 cups of tea at a sitting when there are some people, even Lipton tea, they can't buy? Hot water self, they can't be able to boil it. But you are drinking 3 cups of tea, and I know those type of tea. Maybe 1 cup now, 1 cup of milk they go take put inside with golden cups. So for me, what the man is saying, he told her about tithe, how he lied to the people. He apologized. When you put all these things together, my brother, it's not old age. God is exposing them one by one. That is what God is doing. God forced them to make, because now who will respect that kind of human being again after years of stealing from Nigerian people? Let me leave the matter there before some people feel say devil don't begin talk, Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you, Revolution. What do I owe the pleasure? I've got 2 Rastas on the platform at the same time. This is usually reserved for the very late show, but, show is in town. Everybody's coming out.
Loco, where are you down these days? Nobody see you.
I did Nigeria.
Okay. Oh, good to have you back. Uncle Ike, as a man of faith, I have 2 pastors on the panel. I'm quite happy.
Pastor too.
Who be pastor?
I'm a pastor.
Brother, big face front. So, Uncle Ike, good to have you from your beautiful island. Pastor Adeboye has said what he said. As a man of faith yourself, as a pastor, do you see anything wrong? Do you believe that God actually has stopped the Naira from falling further? Do you think it could have been 10,000 Naira to $1? What do you make of such utterances? Because we're quick to say, oh, people are harsh on Christians, people condemn Christianity on this platform and elsewhere. But when you see things like this, how does it make you feel?
Good afternoon from my area. My brothers, God bless every one of us today that God gave us life to be alive today in the land of the living. There is no testimony that is greater than that we are alive today to talk about ourselves and Nigeria. Like as you said, as a Christian, as a man who handles a pulpit that leads people, it is sometimes very, I don't want to go too deep of using certain words, but I want to read something from the book of Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 14 for you. And that says, then the Lord said to me, the prophets are prophesying lies in my name. I have not sent them or appointed them or spoken to them. They are prophesying to you falsely, or they are prophesying to you false visions, divinations, idolatries, and the delusions of their own minds. I think that most of the men of God, or most Christians, they have made caricature of the word of God. They have made caricature of the pulpit. They have made caricature of the holy sanctuary of God. And interpretation of the Bible has become one of the greatest problems in the Christian kingdom today. Because most of the men of God that own churches, they interpret the Bible based on their financial and their material benefits. Mr. Shaw, I want to ask all of us, all these men of God that we are talking about, how many times in a year do you hear these so-called great men of God in Nigeria? How many times do you hear them standing on the pulpit and they are preaching salvation and righteousness? They don't. It is all about miracle. It is all about miracle. Holiness and righteousness and sanctification has gone away from the pulpit. They have defied the pulpit of the Holy God, all in the name of claiming to be founders and men of God. They will tell you they have gone to theology college, they have read all from Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. They will tell you they have studied the word of God in so many ways, in so many languages. At the end of the day, what is the word of God? The word of God from Genesis to Revelation is, prepare my people for my coming. That is the word of God. That is the Bible. That's what Jesus is telling us. Prepare my people for my coming. That's what the word of God is all about. But what we find in pulpit today, they will tell you there is miracle money before you get home. You're going to see an alert in your account. The same Bible is telling you a man who does not work cannot eat. You only work before you eat. Does not mean that there is no miracle. But the idea of today in Nigeria, miracle without work. Or somebody will go to night vigil from Monday to Sunday. You are praying. You close your shop and you go to night vigil. You don't have a work. You close your shop for 1 week or for 2 weeks. Your neighbors are selling their products and you are in the church. And when you open your church, the next day when you come, you open your church, you go to your neighbor, please, can you give me money? I want to buy food in the afternoon. When I sell, I give you money. But you have been in the church for almost 2 weeks praying for miracle. What is miracle? The miracle is the church, the shop you have. You open your shop and you have the goods that people have. And customers come, you sell your product and you get your money. So, but what are we seeing today? So I think that with all due respect for Pastor Adeboye and the likes of him, you know, he should be able to understand that words has consequences. He has said what he said early this year. I want to confirm here that Pastor Adeboye is a card-carrying member of APC. So all these things he's trying to attach church, attach the gospel to his being a member of APC. It's all about fallacy. It's all about trying to deceive people.
All right. Round off. I'll let you round off in 30 seconds.
So I just believe that Nigerians should be able to understand when a church says show is not a born again, but that church builds schools, they build hospitals, they build universities, and all those investments that they have in Nigeria, it is those people that we call unbelievers are the financiers of those businesses. The members of every church that has all this organization, they can't afford to pay the bills of the hospitals, but you're giving your tithe and your offering. Their children cannot go to their school. It is those people we call unbelievers that they build the universities and the private secondary schools for. Why you that as a member of a church, your child goes to public school where there is no seat that they're going to have to sit, and sometimes you don't have money to pay for your school fee, right? So this is the men of God we have in Nigeria today.
All right. Thank you very much, Uncle Ike. As always, great submission. Local P, long time no see. It's good to see you.
Well, darling.
It's 5:36 p.m. in our UK. You and I the UK now, so it's strange to see you at this time, but good to see you after a long while. You've heard what Pastor Adeboye said. Do you think one of the reasons why Nigerians are hesitant to call out men of God, especially the big men of God, those who are popular, famous, could it be because of the abuse of Psalm 105, verse 15, that says, touch not my anointed? Because you speak to a lot of believers. The minute you want to challenge something that, a man of God says, they are quick to tell you, touch not my anointed. And that's why I'm thinking the abuse of Psalm 105, verse 5. I think it's about time, personally, that we start to call these things out like we're doing here. And I don't think people have been disrespectful towards Baba Adeboye based on the submission so far. It's been respectful, but people are saying clearly we don't agree with these things. So I want to find out from you, how do you think Nigerians can break from the shackles? Because you would agree with me that a lot of churches in Nigeria are filled up every day, like Peter Obi said, because Nigeria is not working. The minute Nigerians start to work, people will still go to church, but it will be those who genuinely love God and just want to fellowship with God and not looking for, 10,000 naira, 5,000.
Fast money.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your take?
All right. Good evening, everybody from here and wherever you are. Been a while, and thank God for still keeping the show alive. And I'm back, and still enjoying the show. Well, for me, I think it's because of the docility of our minds, not being able to think for ourselves with our head. We want everything done for us easily. So this so-called man of God, that I don't like that word. I don't like the word man of God because I don't know who's man of devil, because it's either you are for God or you're for devil. So if they are man of God, who are we? Are we men of devil?
So you don't know men of devil in that Nigeria. I can give you 20 names from the top of my head right now.
No, because if they are only man of God, and I'm not a politician, and I don't preach still, I don't have a church, does that mean I'm a man of devil? No. So I think we are all men of God, regardless of, even God self created Satan himself. So even the Satan is also a man of God, a child of God. So not to derail fast, but like I said, these people have been able to bamboozle us right from time. You understand, in memorial. And remember, the Bible said, train up a child the way he or she will grow, and when they old, they will never depart from it. So we've been trained this way for a long time, and it's now hard for us to detach ourselves from this, mind brain drain or mind mentality or mind imprisonment that we find ourselves, because we are afraid to be called a child of the devil. Like I said, they are men of God. If you are anti them, you are now pro the devil. So we don't want to be tagged, with a bad name, child of devil. So we are scared of talking to them, and also afraid. Our conscience telling us, God, make I not go messiah, make God not go punish me. You understand? Because you'll be talking to yourself inward, like, just leave it for God, just leave it for God. I don't want to you blaspheme or whatever. So we are scared of not being called names for speaking out the truth or for thinking for ourselves That have just been what has been happening for a long time. And these people have, knowing this part, they've taken advantage of this part. Like, we can't speak because we're afraid to go to hell. You understand? We're afraid to challenge them because the Bible said, touch not, the anointed. And if you do, you go to hell. So we don't want to go to hell. We don't want to be called child of Satan or child of devil. So we just keep mute and be judging ourselves in our conscience. Should I say or should I not say? Okay, let's leave it for God. So that has been what they've been taking advantage of. And never forget, religion has always been politics. Because I remember when I did one, not investigation anyway, followed the documentary of Mother Teresa, I discovered that as charitable, as good Samaritan as she was working the Italian mafia to launder money. You understand? Way back, fend for yourself, trust me. Yeah, she's working with Italian mafia to launder money. You understand? But she's just this good Samaritan. And what they do, you have big mafias donating to our charity, donating to our whatever, just to give her this and that, always getting money from nowhere because in the name of charity, businessmen, mafias. But she was laundering money for most of them. People don't know that. But the face of, charity, Mother Teresa, saints, helping the poor, and that's just what's like. So we are scared to ask people question people who we believe are close to God or are God sent or are God's favorite. Because if we do challenge them, will be called, just like politics. If you attack Tinubu now, what would they call you? It's PDP that sent you. You get my point? They will never tell you, you have a mind of your own to think. Once you just say, what Tinubu is doing, look at them, they are sponsored by PDP. Just the same thing. Religion is politics. If you attack these people, you are sent by the devil. It's an attack on the church of God, attack on the body of Christ. They are quick to say that just to keep you quiet, so you will not be seen as a child of Satan. So that has been what has been happening all these years. And so fortunately, we speak like this, quietly, try to make people reason, but people always look for, free things. Those are mine. Always look for free things. They don't want to challenge themselves. They don't want to challenge even the Bible, challenge the so-called man of God. They just let everything slide, and hence we find ourselves where we are today.
All right. Thank you very much, Lekopi. If you don't mind, not immediately, but if you could share the name of the documentary that you watched or that you read.
Yeah, I'll find that. Yeah,
at some point, if you can share it, it would be nice, to share it so people can have a look at it, because that's news to me. Not that anything is impossible, but it would be nice to see the documentary. So, Henry Gabriel, I see you've been spitting fire in the comment section. I'm going to come to you now as the last person to chime in on this particular topic. So, do you think it is possible that Pastor Adeboye is not clued up on this topic? Because he did say subsidy is gone, when it is clear that subsidy is not gone. He also said that Nigerians were celebrating and jubilating when the announcement was made by President Tinubu on day 1, May 29, 2023, that subsidy is gone. Is it possible that Pastor Adeboye, because sometimes you'll be surprised, these highly placed men and women in politics and anyone in power, it is possible that, the people that surround them tell them what they think they want to hear. It's possible that this man does not even know what is going on, similar to what some world leaders might be suffering from when they have sycophants around them. Do you think that's a possibility?
Sure. Adeboye have been scamming Nigeria for a very long time. For a very long time. Nigerians are so, I will not use that word. Maybe I will not use it here in this program. You know what I mean? They are so cheap to brainwash because of the name of looking for miracle. Someone like me, when I was in Nigeria, I taught Catholic. You cannot brainwash me. I read. That is so-called Bible they read. It says in Matthew verse 22, say, sell what you have and give it to the poor. He said it's difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. It's there. Some of you here will come here and start bamboozle your fellow Nigerians who are still being brainwashed with this so-called religion of a thing. Did God created the religion? Let somebody come here and tell me that God created religion. God don't belong to any religion, Christian, Muslim, or traditional religion. He didn't create them. We humans create all this mess. And Africa carried like we host religion more than other people who bring this religion to the Africa. This so-called Adeboye is a scammer. I've been scamming Nigeria for a very long time. Because he have followers, they'll be clapping for him. When you talk to this so-called mini gods on earth, they will say, don't talk to my papa. What they take is the papa. My father is 115 years. My dad still alive today. He called me sometime. He have this in his head. And the way it's not old. He's trying everything because Nigerians are so foolish to listen to all this crap he's saying. If it's a society that is working, that much those so-called that the geo should be jailed. Fake miracle. I went to eat dinner with God. God spoke to me. Have you ever heard the voice of God? These are all scammers. They call them man of God. What are you, show? When you were a child, you call it child of God, Abi? Or that?
Yes, sir.
Is it not? When you are man, you're becoming man of God. What the hell? It's all this called man of God at the geo. I'm hungry when I hear our people saying, come on this platform, we live Western country. They know how people take religion in the Western country. They don't even worship the religion. We worship in Nigeria. We spend 7 days in a week looking for miracle, praying for lights to come, praying for good governance. Are you kidding me?
Right. Okay.
People say scam. Those pastors in Nigeria, they're all scammers.
Oh.
If somebody say I'm lying, they should come out, they should challenge me. I have a word for them. Read your Bible properly. The sole Bible you follow. Read it well. They have private jet, all our private jet. It says it's difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. It's there. Matthew 22. Go and read your Bible. Matthew 19, verse 22. Go and read it. A bunch of riffraffs believing all these criminals. They are all criminals. If I have to be 1 month, 1 day as a president of that country, I will jail all of them, put them in a basement. They will not eat till they finish there, till they buy.
Wow.
They scam Nigeria for more than before I was born. Bunch of idiots.
Okay.
Let me know if you come here and talk about this. Don't talk to the man of God like that. I'll have something for you. Thank you. I'll come back again because I'm hungry right now.
Thank you, Henry. Don't worry. Cool down. Cool down. Calm down. So to do what you want to do, you'll have to go in as a military dictator because Senate won't allow you put people underground in 1 month. But I hear your frustration and I totally get where you're coming from. So we've all chimed in on this topic. But just to let people know that this thing is not limited to the church. Once you have a government that is failing, and this is not about Tinubu government, it's been failing for a while, even before Tinubu came on the scene. If you have a government that is not working for the people, there will never be void. People would provide hope. People will sell all sorts of stuff. So let me share a video that I saw yesterday, and I just laughed, and I said, oh, it's a Friday, and I came across this. I shared it, with my friends, and I said, it's befitting that I found this on a Friday.
You know when
As you can see, it's not limited to the church. One of my friends said that the lady should ask for a refund, that guy is a poor actor. Another one said those are freshly crippled legs. that they're freshly.
Sure. I told you before, religion is calm. I told you before.
Quickly. Yes, go on quickly.
Yeah. I mean, all these Nigerians, are they just so naive? And I don't want to use a bad word here, but they know that all these miracles are not working. I mean, how many years are they going to be waiting for this miracle to come befell on them before they know that all this thing is true? I mean, all this thing is untrue. Nothing is going to happen. Like, like Gabriel properly said, they are all scammers in my own opinion. With due respect as a pastor, I respect my pastor.
Maybe not all. You can say
it's called,
percentage. You can't
choice all.
That's 100%.
It's called trend. Man of it's called trend. Nigeria likes to follow trend.
They are all criminals.
They want to trend.
You can say
somebody challenge me here. They are all
criminals. All of them. All
of them.
Show all of them. Show all of them. Let us call spade a spade.
Show. God give us the power to.
So can I say
God didn't say. God didn't say should look for one daddy Geo before you get to me. He didn't say it there. I can have good relationship with my God direct, not with so-called bunch of daddy Geo.
Of course.
Religion says calm.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, KJ. I'll let you have the last word. 1 minute, last word, please.
Okay. You see, the first people who invented aeroplane has stopped by today because of the casualty level. We probably not have a plane today. If the first persons who received who were traditional healers has stopped, today we'll have nobody practicing native herbal treatments. Consequently, for every good thing there has counterfeit. And that's why the word counterfeit came first in the first place, because there's something that is original. If there was no original, there would be no counterfeit. So the mere fact that certain individuals, and we are all not perfect, no one of us sitting on this platform has lived his life without making mistakes. Some of us have made grievous mistakes, but the grace of God allowed us to live to this moment. So consequently, when we sit down in place of judgment and condemn every other person just because we feel one individual or the other has made a mistake, does not at all cut it for me, and I will never subscribe to that. So sorry, one more, I will just end there. In the context of
I need to talk too, please.
Ejo, 1 minute.
Please, let KJ finish. Please.
I repeat, Christianity has done more for Nigerians than the destruction that some individuals will have brought. And let us face the fact. The Bible did not say when you come to Christ, it means that once you're a church member, once you're a Christian, it means that the person has become perfect. No, the church is like a hospital. People who are sick go there. And some leaders, one way or the other, no matter how anointed they are still human beings having blood and water in their system. They are not angels walking on the face of the earth. So they are prone to every idiosyncrasy, every other person, every other one of us suffers here. Some of us are chosen to marry and we have divorced our wives, or our wives have divorced us. Is it because you didn't know how to do this thing? No, that means that you also have some form of failure in your lifetime. Okay. So don't sit down and begin to say because this individual who has, let me tell you something, and go and quote me anywhere.
Quickly, please.
God does not trust you. He cannot put people under you. The mere fact that people are sitting under his ministry and at that number means that he has something in God that God recognizes.
Meaning Mugu.
All right.
Forget that thing.
All right, Revolution, 30 seconds. Otherwise, if he doesn't finish, I would just, 30 seconds quickly.
Okay, 30 seconds. You see, what I want to tell KJ, this is what the Christians of Nigeria always say.
We needed to ask KJ a question because of what he just said.
KJ is not our guest. It's fine. KJ has his opinion. You're not going to change his mind. But carry on, Revolution, 30 seconds.
What are you? If you've been to Nigerian Christians, they always have something in common. When you catch them, they go say, no man is perfect.
Okay. No problem.
That's what I want to tell him.
Thank you for that. I'm sure Revolution represents what Henry and Man of Prestige wanted to say. So
no. Give me 30 seconds.
It's okay. There'll be more opportunities to discuss this. We have a few topics, and I've only got 3 hours to go. Fathers will be running the show immediately after mine. So I want to try and keep it 3 hours so that I can hand over and Fathers can start a new stream, and we'll carry on this discussion. Say this matter not the finish. So just a few announcements before we take a little break. I've been saying this, and all the panel, the moderators have been saying it, that from January next year, we're moving our address. We're moving away from Dr. Damages. We're going to Iroko Post TV. If you look on the top right-hand side of this broadcast, you will see Iroko Post TV. So if you go on YouTube, please subscribe to that channel. If you come here January next year, you won't find us on a Saturday. This channel, Dr. Damages, will now be for Dr. Damages to keep damaging with his satire with his lab coat and his hammer and his, all those things. This will be reserved for that. So please subscribe to Iroko Post TV. We don't have up to 1,000 subscribers on that channel. And it's going to be pretty difficult without having minimum of 1,000. So please, whatever you do, subscribe. Even if you don't agree with what we say, just come and subscribe. It's fine. One day you might agree. And even if you don't agree, just subscribe and forget about us. Thank you very much. So let's take a little break. And when we come back, we'll discuss another topic. All right. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to carry on the conversation. So the next topics we're going to discuss, I'm going to put two topics in one because it revolves around politics itself. Ondo State have gone to the polls today. They've gone to decide who's going to be their governor for the next 4 years. So I think the two front runners are the APC and the PDP candidate. Can't really tell you the name of the PDP candidate, Bola or something like that. But the APC candidate is the incumbent who was the deputy governor to the late Aketi, who passed away sadly, I think sometime this year. So Aye Datiwa is the current...
Aketi, Rotimi.
Yeah. So Rotimi Akeredolu, God rest his soul. So the current governor was the deputy governor. He's the one that is alleged to have allocated 750 million naira to renovate the gate and the fence of the State House a few weeks before this election. He said today when he voted that he would only accept the result if the election is not fraudulent. He's the APC guy, is the incumbent, and he's already talking about not accepting the results if it's fraudulent. So we're going to talk about Ondo elections. Some of the results that I've seen. It's APC, they're sweeping the polls from the few ones I've seen. I mean, it's night and day. You are saying 400 for APC, and then the closest is PDP with like 25 or 30. So it's looking like another APC victory. So I just want us to discuss this. What do you think? How can this change, if it would ever change? Because we saw it play out in Edo State. Right, the governorship election, and the president did ask them in Edo State, do you want me to return Edo State to you like it's something in his pocket? And he did deliver, talk and do. President Tinubu, talk and do. He said, do you want it? They said yes, and he gave it back to them. When Senator or now Governor Monday Okpebholo was being sworn in, the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, was there, and he introduced Oshiomhole, and he said, the godfather of Edo State politics is back. Those sort of pronouncements. And what's the APC national leader, the dollar man, Ganduje, I was going to say Gandola. Ganduje is already said that, what we've done in Edo, we'll take to Ondo and we'll take everywhere. So the question is there any point participating in these elections? Or if we're going to participate, or the opposition are going to participate, what can they do to stand a chance? That's on one hand. The other thing that I want to throw into this mix is, and please, when it comes to you, just discuss both if you want to discuss this other topic. I'm going to play a video, which is going to take a little while. Please bear with me. Once I play the first one, you would understand where I'm going with this one.
Why I say I'm surprised is because during this period, there have been reports that, for example, even the president advised that this ticket be balanced. And there are key members of the party who have maintained the same position. And thankfully, majority of our Muslim brothers, so sensing that, and maintain the same position. So we believe that during this consultation period, that probably Asiwaju is coming to terms with the reality of balancing the ticket. So the decision yesterday came to me as a surprise. And the reason I resigned is simply because if I stayed in the party, I'm going to play a role of a spokesperson. These are facts that are important to me, and they run to the core of my conviction. Since I don't believe in that, if I take up any role for the party, that means I will find myself advocating what I don't believe in.
Well, I think a lot of people will be very respectful of what you've done because you've done it on principle. But are you a lone wolf in the strength of your opposition to this APC Muslim ticket? Because we're not seeing even so much of a trickle of people resigning as you do.
One, he attempted to destroy democracy. He wanted to introduce what we call monarchical democracy, a democracy that is not reflected by the will and wishes of the people, but reflected by the choice of a man, and people should run around it. He introduced the concept in politics in Nigeria that we call take the queue, follow the queue. He was the only governor in Nigeria that during the period of 7 years, he has had to impeach his deputy governors 3 times. But what they are usually every.
Right, so that is Daniel Bwala, who was on the Bola Tinubu campaign team until President Bola Tinubu, then candidate, decided to choose Kashim Shettima, who's also a Muslim. So Daniel Bwala, based on his faith and his belief, said, I cannot work for this campaign anymore because Nigeria cannot afford to have a Muslim president and a Muslim vice president. So he left and he went to work with Atiku Abubakar. And he said all sorts of things, the sort of things he said, if you give Tinubu 30 years, he can never fix Nigeria. He said, your human brain works 24 hours a day, but the minute you join APC, your brain stops to work. He said all sorts of things while he was with Atiku Abubakar. But shortly after INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu under INEC declared President Tinubu as the winner, Daniel Bwala started changing his tone, which is not a surprise. Now, I've seen people say, don't discuss it, it's not important. I think these sort of things are quite important. We need to highlight it to let people know how this is wrong, as opposed to, if we keep quiet about it, some people just think, why not? Why won't I do the same? But we need to call it out when we see these things. Yes, it might not be the most important thing to do. It might be one of the symptoms of what's wrong with Nigeria, but I personally believe everything should be on the table. We should be able to discuss it, condemn it if we want to condemn it. And then some people who would say, why not? So those who believe he owes nobody anything, is a private citizen, would come and defend him. And we can have that conversation. So for me personally, I don't think it's one of those, it's a distraction, it's a little issue. I think it's important. And you can see some of the reaction that he has garnered from some of the Asiwaju supporters, as they call themselves. Mr. Onokpasa became famous on Arise TV when Rufai Husseini called his name like 1,000 times, and it was a shouting match. Mr. Onokpasa, even I slept that night, I was hearing Mr. Onokpasa in my sleep. Mr. Onokpasa now, who is an ardent supporter of the president, has come out today, and he's had this to say.
My dear President, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, my very dear President, I am so angry with you. How could you make such an appointment? Of who? Daniel Bwala, who insulted all of us, called you a drug dealer, a drug baron. You stab all of us in the back You disgrace us, you humiliate us by appointing someone who insulted all of us during the campaign. I mean, what is going on, Excellency? What happened to you? You attack Yaya Bello. You will attack Rufai. You will abandon Fani Kayode. We supported you. Then the people who fought us, I don't need any appointment from you. My Lord Jesus, it takes care of me. Anytime, any day. That's the story of my life. I don't need anything from you. But this is such a shame. Shame. That you will stab all of us in the back like this. And bring some funny character. A serpentine character. You never know where he stands. You give him an appointment on what basis? We are the ones that put you in power. We are the ones God used. This is so painful. Very, very painful. That's not how to treat people. Unless you don't fear God. And to not fear God is also not to believe in God. Because you have to believe in God first to be able to fear God. You just dump your supporters. You humiliate them. You disgrace them. You discard them. The person that discards his fellow man will be discarded by God. If you, with respect, let me teach you some theology. This is just too painful. Very, very painful. To me, to all our supporters. This man insulted the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Called our president a drug dealer. And you make him what? The guy has no credibility. Zero. Nobody believes him. Our party supporters, they don't trust him. The people he dumped us for to go to PDP, they don't trust him. Obedience hate him. What is the point? Then my brother Bayo even stooped so low to be the one to announce the appointment. I'm really, really angry. If there's anybody who opens his mouth to say I'm not a Baptist, may God punish that person. But I'm really, really disappointed in you, my president. Really, really disappointed in you. You give the impression that you can dump anybody, you can sacrifice anybody, you can stab anyone in the back. How do people trust you? People talk about love. I'm not interested. I'm a lawyer. I talk about trust. Trust. That's how people live together. It's trust. People have to trust you. Otherwise, you lose credibility. Where did this come from? Where did this? I mean, it's bizarre. Hey, Daniel Bwala. We don't have any authentic, original. I don't want it. I don't need it. I'm okay. My Jesus always takes care of me. Did you see another person that supported us? This is so painful. Painful. Don't take us for granted. Don't take us for granted, my president. It's unfair. That's not to treat your fellow man. Otherwise, that's how God will treat you. Don't do that. It's really painful. It's an insult to all of us. Now, why should you insult your supporters? We are diehard Baptists.
When they cry,
you treat us like what? Like we are expendable? Well, treat your fellow man as if he's expendable. Let's see what God will do about that. It's really painful. Painful, Excellency. It's an insult to all of us. Man started talking crap. Then we had to push back on it. Then you make him what? Special advisor, what rubbish? You see, it's God. Excellency, my president, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, is God that made you president. As we say in Niger Delta in Urobo, it is somebody you use to do something. It's God that will use people to do something for you. So keep dumping your people. Keep abandoning them. and romancing with man, messed up human beings that any normal human being can trust. No problem. We'll see where it will all end up. We, the Baptists, we are really, really angry with this bizarre, macabre appointment. I don't know where you got this funny idea from. Guy can't do anything from you for you. He can't convince anybody about anything. He lacks credibility. Nobody respects him. I mean, where do you get this fun? Why do you keep abandoning our people? You can't see them to give appointment to. You keep bringing all kinds of funny people. How do we trust you? You see me, I'm a Catholic. We are deep people. May the Lord, may our Lord Jesus Christ take care of you for this country. I'm disappointed, but may God bless you, and may God bless Nigeria. Thank you, my president.
Joe.
Amen.
You see, they call this. You see, I
That
hate when
has
they call
mine.
people.
Now
They call God name.
We'll come to you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You had the chance. See, when I listened to that video, there's this Alujo that came to mind. I was going to play it, but for copyright reason, there's a song. If you go to Owambe parties in Lagos now, there's this little thing that they say, "Mi obopa, mi obopo." I know here waiting there. See, you know what? I know here. Tinubu know the hear needs all this cry. Once they get Tinubu later, mi obopa, mi obopo. I know here waiting then they talk. So Mr. Onokpasa is one of President Tinubu's ardent supporters. And a lot of them they were upset. They were surprised that the president went back to Bwala. Apparently, this has been going on for a while. They've been pushing back, saying, you can't have him. But Tinubu vetoed it, and he said, I want him back. I think he would rather have someone like that inside than on the outside. So he's come to replace Ajuru Ngelala or Ngelali or whatever his name is. Yeah. So these are the things we're going to discuss, in the light of, does it mean anything that people can just wake up APC and they go to bed PDP? Is there any difference between these two political parties in terms of ideology? Because it's easy to say, no integrity. But what is the difference between APC and PDP? Even throw LP into it. If you take out Peter Obi from LP, are there any differences? So is it wrong for somebody to wake up APC and go to bed PDP if it's the same side of the coin? So this and the Ondo election, these are the things we're going to discuss. So that it's easy for me. Let me start with the way it is on the screen so that I don't skip anybody.
I want to go to work. Give me only 2 minutes to make my own so that I go. Quickly. I beg you, KJ, we go.
Quickly.
You see, I've told you guys, I know many people will not understand where we come from. That country, until revolution happened in that country, so that things will be put right. We'll be coming here to complain every time. Nigeria is a funny place. You people are still talking about election in that country. You said APC is clearing everywhere on Ondo. He went to Edo. He said, I will give you Edo. We have to wake up and take the bull by the horn. All this election, nothing will change. 23 last year, nothing changed. People are talking about 27. How will it change? Let me be listening on the way while going to work. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Revolution. Owachuku, I'm well, thank you. I see you're asking how am I doing in the comment section. I'm fine, thank you. Guys, please, if since we are talking, I'm a Christian myself. I'm a man of faith. I was born, raised in the Anglican Communion before I found the happy, clappy, Pentecostal, and somebody's just done it. I think this is from Qatar. I was even going to say, don't forget, as the Spirit leads, to send super chats. We'll highlight your comment to support the channel as well. We have staff we pay in Nigeria. Every moderator you see here in the UK, US, Canada, it's voluntary. It's what's that thing that they do for free? I don't understand English anymore. That one that they do for free, so that was what's you call them?
What you do, Sarah?
Yeah, no, there's an English word for it. Now, when people go and work for free, that they put on their CV self that you've done. Anyway, we don't get paid for it. So, but we have staff in Nigeria, the editors, the people who put things together, they get paid. So, all your super chat goes towards that. So, if you're led in the spirit please feel free to send in super chat. So KJ, I'll come to you quickly. Ondo election, it's looking like APC is going to sweep the polls. Can anything be done to change the trajectory, or should we just pack up and go home? And also people like Bwala, not just Bwala as a person, there are thousands of Bwalas in Nigeria. What do we say?
Thank you so much, and I'm happy that I'm the one also starting. Those people who are disagreeing with me in the comment section, it will be better, it will be more profitable for you, and your comment can be highlighted. Put money to it, monetize it, and so that we can highlight it so that people will see what you're saying. It makes more sense. Now, on the issue of the election coming up, I have no hope. I don't intend to have any hope. I don't intend to see any surprise. You know, if like anything, they may just give, if one of their friends is on the wrong party, they may just allow that person win that local government. Or if one of their boys, they want to just make it look as if it's uniform. I mean, if it's not partial, they'll send one of their boys to one of the opposing party and allow him win that part. But every other thing is going to go to the party that is in power. That's how it's going to come out. It's not going to change. And so I'm not even going to waste my time, because if Nigerians, if we are people who are thinking, who are deep thinkers, what to do was to shut down the system and not even bother ourselves. If they want, they should allocate the offices to themselves. But don't tell anybody that there's an election, because there's no election in Nigeria as far as I am concerned. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. Now, on the second question which you asked, which is about my dear friend Daniel Bwala. I mean, I don't know. Daniel Bwala showed himself long before the Jonathan administration ended, you know, when he will criticize and do all that. We saw him coming. It shouldn't surprise any person who follows Nigerian politics what Daniel Bwala turned out to be. I started listening to Daniel Bwala right from when he was staying in that his one room in London when he was doing his course, and how he will speak, turn the politics upside down. I used to really wonder whether he was actually following the Nigerian politics. And when he came and found out that the government in power was no longer there, he was also, quick to adjust his cell and started, castigating the government that was, in power. And then quickly he was absorbed into that government. And consequently, when that government was about to end, he moved over to Atiku. Now, this is the same person. And this is what I'm talking about when people, want to criticize certain, pastors, especially like the earlier topic, about the GO. You see, these are human beings, and people will definitely, if we as people, nobody forced you, you can go take a wife, and the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you say marry again. It is just human, So we are prone, we can make mistake. Now, but in these people's case, they are just belly first, and remaining Ronald Mockery. Okay, he's the next person. Of course, you know that Doekwe has fallen in place. Okay.
Don't forget Femi Fani-Kayode.
Femi Kayode has done all the testing. Even
that one has gone back, front.
And they refuse to be in position. In fact, that's the most painful one now. So these guys who are going in now will try and get him position, because he needs that position to survive in the next 4 years. Okay, no matter what it is, they are going to give, because Femi Fani-Kayode is good. I mean, he can tell you blue is black and be telling you with open eye. He won't do him anything, So Daniel Bwala is not a disappointment to me, because I knew it would come to this. The same person who stood, and that's why I keep saying this about we who carry Christ in our hearts. You said you didn't want to do this because you are protesting against Muslim ticket, and today you are the one shouting around the whole world, And I see now. I understand what a friend of mine told me before now, that Aguilari was told that he was not lying enough, so he was not painting the picture the way they wanted it, and even trying to oppose this man now, who is now being the person directing the whole affairs of the media, was what got him out of the job. I'm glad they allowed him to resign without, spoiling his record. But let us not expect anything different from what we are seeing. It's going to get worse as the day go by. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Man of Prestige, I'm going to come to you. So Ondo elections, it's looking like APC are going to sweep it. It looks like the incumbent is going to carry on for another 4 years. What does that say about, our electoral system, that despite the hardship that Nigerians are facing under APC seems to be winning? I mean, that's, if INEC are declaring them as winners, you have to say they're winning. So what does that say about us, about our electoral system, that despite all these complaints of we can't eat, the poor cannot breathe, and all these things, well, APC seem to be winning, so they must be doing something right. And also, Daniel Bwala, not him as a person, but what he represents, and people like Mr. Onokpasa that feel disappointed. Do you have any message for them?
Yeah, this is where we are right now, so nothing has really changed when it comes to Nigerian politics, but it's running to a very different level right now. This APC, I think they have been able to master the art of corruption and ringing and everything. I mean, Tinubu is already guaranteed for 2017. So go mark it to what's today. I just said 11/16. Yeah, Tinubu is coming back by God. With God, with God help, with health, he's gonna come back. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they have their own people, put in different area. The INEC chairman and something like that. So they know how to ring the election. It's pretty much it, foregone conclusion that they're going to sweep the voting. I think somebody was saying, was you sure that was said that the early election result is showing whereby they're sweeping everything. So it's not really surprised. This is the situation where we have, because a person like Tinubu, we can stay here and speak all day. I'm not saying we shouldn't speak, but he doesn't listen to it. He doesn't listen to us. I mean, I think it was somebody that made a comment the other time, it was about the CIA something, which we're going to get into. Somebody said that he's not smart enough to be an asset. You don't have to be smart. Tinubu is a street smart somebody. He knows how, he has been planning for this. You know how to conquer, how to conquer people. That's exactly what he's doing, right now. Go and look at Nigerian politics. Everywhere there's no APC is not in charge, I mean, they're going to challenge it. That's why it's going to be a problem. But anywhere APC is in charge, they're going to pretty much sweep anything. So INEC chairman is in control with the only resolution we're going to have is to restructure the the INEC and every other kind of things, the election system. That is the only way we're going to get any kind of what I consider to be a useful result to a certain degree. Because what they are creating right now, they have already created what I call a passiveness, which is an apathy, in election. Tell me how many people are going to come out and vote the next election? How many people? They just cook out the number, say this is what it is. People come, just cook any number, give us this. People is not going to vote. What is the purpose of voting? Because it's not going to be. There's not going to be any credible result. They have pretty much cajoled the Nigerian politics, the way we see it today. So it's going to be a sweep. That's the way I see it. Speaking about the guy that was just speaking, I think he's from Warri, right, or something like that. So somebody called him a crook from Warri. So I think what he was doing right now is what I call political, defrauding. So because he has been shortchanged, that's why he came here, and be hollering, preaching God and using the word of God and everything. They have not given him any position. Is Bwala the right man? Well, they said you need to keep your enemy close. You remember that saying, keep your enemy close for wherever. And he has been auditioning for the position for a long time. He's very eloquent, he can speak pretty good. And I'm surprised Reno hasn't gotten any position, because two of them has been auditioning for the position. So he decided to get it. So that guy that came on here, be crying, because they have not given any kind of position. So he came here to gaslight us or something like that. It doesn't really matter, they're all sick of fancy, they're going to do whatever he said. It doesn't matter who is in that position. It's going to be, they're going to be Tinubu servants, just do whatever I want, and the country is going to hell. That's the way I say it. So nothing is going to change. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, man of prestige. Uncle Ike. So you had another man of faith saying that God used them to bring President Tinubu to the office. And he said he's a Catholic and they are very deep people. He said if President Tinubu keeps discarding them that worked for him, God will discard President Tinubu. So, what's your message for people like Mr. Onokpasa, who feel disappointed that the president is not appointing them? Because we've been told many times that President Tinubu is a master politician. So is it possible that this is part of his master stroke, where he's appointing the people that believes would work for him, rather than, when you go to battle, some people, their own is to plan. Some people, you take them at the forefront of the battle. So maybe, President Tinubu is just being a master politician. What do you say?
Well, sure. I am one of those people who don't want to bring man and God into a fight. Hardly in my personal conversation, people who have known me for more than 60 years, they know me before I tell you it is God that said, or is because of God this happened. It takes a long time before I use that words, because I do understand what it means. So for the man, I think he should be crying, because what happened wasn't an act of God. And I think that he was expecting a reward, but he didn't get it. And he felt that those who did not work, or people who worked against that, are the people that are getting the reward. So at the end of the day, when he cried too much, he felt that APC cannot remember him, he will jump into PDP. That's it. It's APC PDA. That's what it is. So for him, I have no sympathy for any of them. Concerning the Edo election, I think I will come from another perspective. I think that when I reflect back and when I see what transpired in 2023, I think that honest Nigerians who really want Nigerians to play politics the way it's supposed to be should hold Julius Aburi and his executive accountable to what is going on in Nigeria today, because of greed, because of power, because of money. Because why do I come in this perspective? If after this 23 election, that Julius Aburi and his greedy men in his executive have allowed a free and fair National Convention of Labour Party, after the loss of this election, after the Supreme Court, Peter Obi said we are going into a new phase, because it's not a race, but it's a marathon. If this man was not blinded by what came to Labour Party in 2023, if he's not a man that was planted after 23 to make sure that Labour Party do not exist, by now, sure, I am telling you, if there was a free and fair and all-inclusive National Convention of Labour Party, where disaffected Nigerians could have taken a place they could call home, and there was a convention from the ward to the local, to the state, to the national level, I am telling you, by today, APC would have not been anywhere in Nigerian political space. It doesn't matter how powerful that they are. Peter Obi was only 6 months, and he got about 6 million votes, the one that INEC gave to him. So you could see the reflection of what I'm talking about right now. Look at what happened in Edo State. To be honest with you, if Labour Party was what it's supposed to be, Olumide Agbada, it was a clear victory for Olumide Agbada in Edo State. But because of man, because of the greed of man, this is where we are today. In this Edo election, Ondo election,
yes,
PDP is as more disorganized than any other party in Edo State, in Ondo State. So who has the opportunity? The Labour Party. Mr. Ibisemi or Ibisa, who is the Secretary General of Afenifere. But the same problem that Aburi has initiated in Labour Party, divided the party. Yes, on Thursday, was it on Thursday? the national vice chairman of the Labour Party from West, who is from Ondo State, come from nowhere, saying that is the party president, gubernatorial candidate. This is the problem. You see what we are facing right now, because this contest would have been between Labour Party and APC, but this is the problem. So you see that nobody is expecting anything, like KJ said. Nobody is expecting miracle. In Ondo State, it's going to be APC. Okay. They have a program. They have said what they want. They have said what they want for Nigeria. But if it is only when Nigerians allow that to happen, my brother who just left is calling about the revolution. What is your strategy about the revolution? You talk about revolution. What is your strategy? Is it by bashing Mr. Peter Obi? The show what it goes about bashing Mr. Peter Obi everywhere, lying against. Is it his strategy? What is his strategy? He's looking for a bloody revolution where somebody will come and take him and appoint him to make him president of Nigeria. It's not going to work. Right. Let Mr. Sowore and Mr. Peter Obi walk into the campuses of Nigerian universities today and let them test their popularity, because he has lost everybody. Okay. So if you think that his strategy is by bashing Mr. Peter Obi, lying against Mr. Obi, what Mr. Obi has done in Anambra State is his strategy to cause revolution in Nigeria, you're deceiving yourself, because you don't have any strategy. Right. Sowore has lost the Nigerian students. He doesn't have up to 1% support in any Nigerian campus today. Okay. But let Mr. Peter Obi walk into any primary school, no matter what part of Nigeria, walk into any Nigerian university, anywhere, and you see what I am talking about. The new Nigeria is possible. But people should be able to understand, to differentiate what we are talking about. Because when these people who are talking about revolution, you don't have strategy. Your strategy is to bash only one man. Is to talk about Mr. Peter Obi. That's your strategy. You have lost the student. You have lost the market women. You have lost the street boys. So where is your strategy? Is it by saying, lying against Mr. Peter Obi and talking about me? Every opportunity you have is Mr. Peter Obi. You don't. He said he was a presidential candidate, and Mr. Peter Obi was vice president in 2019, and so what? How many votes did you get? 5,000 votes. 2023, what did you get? 6 months, he had about 6 million votes of what INEC gave him. So where do you compare yourself? So I think that what is going on now, brother, show in Nigerian politics is Julius Aburi and his gang should be held responsible. This is my own personal opinion. Because if people has fall in place what Mr. Obi planned after the Supreme Court, and all the whole obedient members from other political parties and all the whole groups in Nigeria were able to fall into Labour Party and become a member of the party, and from the ward to the local government to the national level, we will not be talking about what we are talking right now. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Because there are people who really want a better Nigeria. But because APC know that the only thing that they have in Nigeria is to make sure that Peter Obi has no place that he can call his own. But it's not going to work, because obedient by future, by tomorrow, probably obedient movement now that they're trying to reorganize will turn into a political party. So I am looking forward. I have not lost hope of what is going to happen in Nigerian political space. Right. I sincerely believe, I said it here last week, Sowore, if you think that you have the master what it takes to rule Nigeria, you have to change your strategy, because you do not have no strategy.
All right. Thank you, Uncle Ike. I think this looks like one of those ones that the editors will love and cut out and share to everybody during the week. And I'm sure would reach Sowore, since Rudolph is his man. All right, so righteous man, you've come with the torchlight. Is the national grid down? So that I can come to you quickly, I would plead the indulgence of the other members.
Show.
Yes, sir.
Show. And the rest members of the panel, Nigerians that are in this panel that are honest and truthful. The problem of Nigeria is the Igbos. The moment Nigeria allowed the Igbos to exit Nigeria, the nation called Nigeria will be fine. I'm not saying it for you to agree with me, but this is the bitter truth. Because there is no reason why on earth that the elite and political class in Nigeria refuse P2B to be the president of Nigeria. When the Nigerian masses, I mean the ordinary Nigerians across board voted for P2B massively, and he was denied that position because he's an Igbo man. This is truth. Beating about the bush, even if P2B contests 20 times, they will not give it to him. There is an agenda, there is a policy that Igbo man will not rule Nigeria. And that's the problem Nigeria is having. They should allow Igbos to exit Nigeria. And you will see Nigeria will start working. Because the two major tribes and the minority tribes that agree together will now sit down and work out how they will make Nigeria work. But as long as Igbo man and Igbos are still in Nigeria, Nigeria will not work. Because that opportunity to make it to work will never be provided. Tell me who among the politicians that contested 2023 election had the pedigree that will be carried. Mention one. Nigerians voted. Yorubas, Ijos, Hausas, Middle Belt, Fulanis, they voted for P2B. Didn't you see how the judiciary, the Supreme Court, turned the Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, to become a state because an Igbo man won? Why are we deceiving ourselves now? Why are we cosmetically putting a picture that is not existing? Nigeria is not working and cannot work.
Okay. Thank you, righteous man. Thank you. A passionate one. Of course, slightly away from the topic, but I hear you. It's have your say. You've had your say. I see what you're saying, but I disagree with this part of it. Not that we're going to go back and forth. You said the minute the Igbo man is allowed to leave, Nigeria will start to work. So you think the minute you guys leave us, Tinubu and Shetima and El Rufai and the Fayoshes and all these people will now say, now let's start treating Show and the other people nicely. No, Nigeria still won't work. The fact that what you can say is if you're allowed to leave, you can go and make it work for yourselves. But that the rest of us will all of a sudden start enjoying. They still won't be nice to us. But I hear your submission. Thank you for dropping by. Flagship, I'll come to you. So going back to the conversation, Ondo election is currently ongoing. It looks like, sorry, one moment. Okay, thank you for that. It looks like APC are going to win. That's what it looks like right now. I'm not calling the election. I have no figures to back it up, but from the ones I've seen online, the pictures of the result sheet, it looks like it's a clean sweep for APC. John, if you please sit up while you're on the platform is one of the things that we did mention. So sitting up is one of the requirements. I'm not sure if John can hear me. I don't want to put you backstage. So sitting upright is one of the minimum requirements to be on the panel. Thank you. When you're ready, someone will bring you back. Just, for the time you're going to be with us, sit up and have a conversation with us. It's a sign of respect for us and for the rest of our viewers. So, Flagship, coming back to you. So in terms of the election in Ondo State, it looks like APC are going to sweep the poll. The question I have for you is there any point for opposition party to keep participating under the current arrangement? All the by-elections that would happen between now and 2027, and even the 2027 election itself, like, Uncle Ike was alluding to, if they had allowed Peter Obi to consolidate power within the Labour Party and the rest of it, even with that, do you think it would have worked with the current setup? And also, if you want to chime in on Daniel Bwala, the APC guys who are not happy with his appointment and the rest of it.
Well, yeah, with his setup as it is right now, I don't think it will work, for these reasons. When Tinubu was campaigning, there was this alleged story that, actually it was after he won, after he won, there was this story that he's trying to make Nigeria a one-party state. And in Pidgin English, we would always say, like play. Be like say it won't happen. And if we're not careful, play will turn to eat and go. You know, they are working on it. They are working towards it. And it seems like they've got their act together. Until our electoral act is reformed, and until they remove Mahmoud Yakubu as the INEC chairman, and until an appointment or the appointment of a chairman for INEC is devoid of the presidency, we will go nowhere. If it stays this way, 2027, we might as well just sit back and let them keep it going as is. And we need to be careful how we approach this, because by the time 2027 comes and goes, it might be a different ballgame entirely. Are we going to be dealing with a pseudo-monarchy system where one party takes it all and continues until whenever they get tired? I wouldn't say we should sit down and watch. We need to fight back. We need to push back to make sure the Electoral Act is reformed. Or if this whole system is not working, we need to scrap it and figure out a system that works better for us. Nigeria is not having an election. You and I know that. We cannot deceive ourselves. The vote of the people do not count. The election in Ondo today, the result has been predetermined. The sheets are ready to be submitted. You and I do not have access to what they put in, unlike elections in other countries where, as the data is coming in, you're seeing it real time. This one is cooked up, is ready to go. Whatever they give to you, you take. If you don't like it, go to court. And who's in charge of the courts? Their own boys and girls, you know? So it's not going to work at all. With reference to Mr. Onokpasa and the other guy that Tinubu just handpicked, you know, there's a law, if you've read this book called The 48 Laws of Power, you know, every time I look at these guys, I tend to see this book in play. You know, they put one of these laws here and there and use it. And the one that Tinubu is using now is, I think it's 12 or 14, I can't remember, but I'll go back and check it. It says, get your enemy, right? Bring your enemy close inside your circle. Let them work for you. With them, you will know what your enemies outside are doing. And when it gets to a point, you can strike them. You see, Bwala, he thinks that this appointment is all good and dandy. Tinubu is going to get rid of him in no time, one way or another, when he gets what he wants, or fishes out whatever information is looking for. Onokpasa is crying now. He's calling Jesus and God in his tears that he's sharing. What he's saying, I'm from where he's from. And this is what he's saying in the many words that he spoke. You see me for here, you can't go pick that guy instead of me. Now that guy you go take. That's what he's saying. He at one breath he's saying, we are the ones that put you in power. And in another breath he's saying, God put you there and God can spill you out. Newsflash, Mr. Onokpasa, the God you are talking about will not do that for you. He will never make it happen. So take it or leave it. The guy is there, he's going to do what he wants. And learn your lessons. Next time, you make a good choice. So I hope that Nigerians will begin to see things from a different perspective, that these guys that you all run behind, when they come to you and call you fellow citizens, at a time they're trying to just put a mirage on, like they're campaigning, and you run after them and give them your support. They really don't care about you. They don't have you in mind. Nigeria is just a geographical region right now as it is. It's a geographical region that Nigerians have found themselves. And it's unfortunate because there are a group of people doing business in this geographical space. And this group of people don't care about the citizens that are occupying that land. So no matter what happens, they do what they want and they get away with it. You can cry as loud as you want. Nothing is going to change until you take the bull by the horn.
All right. Thank you, flagship. The flagship. Tim Gaddis, I've seen your comment a few times. You're asking me to define a master politician. I think that question would be best posed to President Bola Tinubu supporters, because that's what they say. Every time he makes an appointment, they say he's a master politician, he's a master. And I always ask, how about governance? It's about politics for a lot of people. When he appointed Ojuku's wife, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, they said, oh, he's a master stroke. Oh, Tinubu is a master politician. So I was just quoting the supporters of the president. Not that I'm saying he's a master politician. I don't care either way if he's a master politician or not. It means nothing to me. But that's what these people think. Omori, I see you in the background. I know that if you call Showore 3 times, Omori, you would appear. I'm hoping that this will not turn into a Showore versus Peter Obi. Omori, I'm going to bring you on the platform and you'll have your say in a minute. But we'll go next to Henry Gabriel. Henry, so talking of the elections, I know Ondo is I think Ondo is the closest to you in terms of living the Southwest. You know, so Ondo, they're having their election today. The INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakub, before this election said they've learned their lessons from Edo State and they will do better. You buy them, Abi, you know buy them.
Sure.
Please.
So, a thief will always be a thief, no matter how you want to paint it. A pastor is a fraudster, going to be a fraudster. A corrupt politician will going to be a corrupt politician. There's no way Yakub going to change. It can never change. Here's some of you who's calling 2027, people are going to let's support people are going to win. If the election is being the same system we are right now, you people are just joking. Yakubu came out publicly to tell the whole world 2023 election going to be a free and fair election. This is what he promised people. They gave him everything, the tools, the money, everything he wants. What came out? No. We say, let's move on. Like some of you say, let's move on. We are moving on. People are suffering in the country right now. He came out publicly, said they made a mistake. They're going to do it better. And then Edo State election came out. You see the change. You see it. The ring is so cheap. You see that the ring this election to APC. They are still in court anyway. It came out to tell you people again, the same people who was talking about 2027, that those State election going to be better. They learn for their mistakes. Are you kidding me? As long the president who elect all this bunch of criminals who call themselves INEC, yeah, they call it independent. They are not independent. They answer to Tinubu. They answer to Buhari. Can you imagine they brought Wike's cousin for the state election? You know that, sure?
Yes, I did.
Is that normal?
Well, the man said he has every right that because it's related to Wike, that can stop him from being
Yeah.
INEC.
Wike who sold PDP election to APC in Rivers State, who said APC is a cancer. I guess most of you forgot this thing. He said it. He said APC is a cancer, PDP is malaria. He prefer to stay malaria than cancer. What is it today? I will not take any post, any political appointee. I will never. What is he doing now? Bunch of wee-frats. You call this one. I'm older than Wike. Look how old he is. Why you don't ask yourself why it's like that?
He said it was poisoned a while ago. He did say it in one of his many talks. He said it was poisoned.
He will go and say his ex-girlfriend poisoned him this time. Wike is wicked. You see the way he cut his bad like Hitler. That's how he is. It's wicked. It's inhuman.
Okay. All right.
Let me finish. Look at you blaming Bwala. Bwala is a political ashawo.
I didn't blame him.
No, you see, You see all these people we call educated lawyers and so-called Christian, they are a bunch of wifrats. When they tell you something, if they say, hey, it's going to be Z, they don't have integrity. They don't have this pride. They don't have it. I cannot vomit. I eat my vomit. No matter how much you're going to give me, I stand tall. You people waiting for turn to the 7, you are jokers. You are joker. If they live it like this way, not going to work. Look at American election. You didn't say I go fast, sharp. Why Nigeria cannot do it like that? How much they spend in Nigeria elections is bigger than American elections, where the more they spend money in Nigeria. Think about it. Some of you will come and start quoting this, and the so-called who's ranting, crying like if a Catholic is crying, he will cry me river. You see, they use the name of the same God to bamboozle, to lie, to ring elections, to steal from the members, to buy private jets, live lost life. And some will come here and say nobody's perfect. Who said, why they call themselves they are the man of God? Why they call themselves man of God? Why people go there and bring their problem to them when they know they are not perfect?
Right. All right.
That is stealing, fraudster, scammers.
Thank you, Henry. Henry clearly has no faith in Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, a whole professor. Okay. We'll move on to, let me call you what they call you on this platform sometimes, Pokoli. So, Loco P, coming to you now quickly, just to ask you the same question I'm asking everyone. Is there any point contesting against APC in 2027 if nothing changes between now and then? Short and simple, is there any point?
Yeah, there will always be, because if good people are fed up of trying to be good, bad people will always, you understand. So regardless of how it is, you understand, it's always good to contest rather than doing nothing, because like some people say, probably if we decided to contest at all, who knows what would have happened. I mean, we'll be contesting and we have it this bad. So if we just shut our mouth and don't contest anymore, that means it would have gone even worse and beyond. So it's always good for us to still, contest no matter what, you understand. Because if we give up these things, more people will also give up. Many people are even looking up to us to, like, it's because of us fighting, speaking. That's why they're even trying to even stand out to do the right thing. So I think you don't need to lose hope. It's good for us to always also contest and keep the little candle burning. Who knows? That candle will become a full blaze one day, you understand? So it's good for us to contest. Yeah.
The reason why I ask is because there's a trend now that is beginning to surface. Go to court was what was said in 2023. And when someone tells you go to court, I mean, you live in the UK. I don't think you've ever been told by anyone that you've had disagreement with to say go to court. But the confidence of that go to court in 2023 speaks volume. And when you see people lose election lately, all these by-elections, a lot of people are saying, I'm not going to court. I'm not going to go and waste my money. There are like 2 or 3 candidates who said, I'm not going to court since the 2023 election, to say there's no point. That's the way I'm asking the question, that if people are already saying, I'm not going to go to court, could he, degenerate to the point where some political parties are saying, we won't bother, we'll save our money, and we just let things be? But I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying, do you think we could get to that place that people just lose interest completely and there'll be voter apathy?
No, we'll never. No, we'll never. Because as far as good people still exist, you understand, no matter what, we'll never. And the idea of not going to court is somehow somewhat different from not even contesting at all. Courts, why? Because I know I'll contest and I have the hope of winning. If I don't win and I have, grievances or anything, there's no need for me to put it to the court, because I know the court is an ally. So there's no point. So it's just because of the alliance with the corrupt politicians with the courts, hence the, aggrieved party and not even bother want to waste their money. Because they know there's no matter, even if Jesus has come down, they'll still deny him. They'll still, you understand? So there's no point. You understand? I can, try my luck and see if the people will definitely change their mind to say, okay, no, we die here. We need this good, governance, and we'll make sure everything works better for all of us. But if it doesn't happen that way, then there's no point trying to go and look for, devil's, devil's ally and go and think one day they will come to your favor. It's not going to be possible. So not going to court is somewhat different from
not participating at all. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Local P. Righteous Man, I'll come to you now. I know the first submission, I know say the hot you can't give us. Now that you've calmed down, things are a bit calm. You saw, I'm not sure if you saw the video of Mr. Onokpasa complaining that President Tinubu.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't even speak on that.
Talk to your brother. Give Onokpasa one message one time.
Yeah. Onokpasa at least issued just try and be humble and call Rufai. Sorry, that I was challenging you that time. I never knew this how politics is. You understand? I never knew politics can be so devastating and backstabbing and all that stuff. But for me, what does he expect for crying out loud? I mean, look at the attendance of Tinubu, how he grew in politics. Why should you expect, when someone is looking for, army to fortify his force, political force, looking for more army, even if there is enemy, as far as they are going to do his bid, he doesn't care. So Onokpasa should, in fact, I'm even surprised Onokpasa is even complaining, like he doesn't understand how politics works, how not politics per se, Nigerian politics, because politics is of a thing is not a bad thing. It's just the Nigerian politics that is just different from the way politics is run. You understand? In fact, they should look for another word to call the way Nigerian play politics. It's not politics. It's just something else. It's not politics at all. So Onokpasa should not be surprised. You understand? And he's pained. He's just come here and be saying, no, I don't care. Don't give me anything. He's pained because nobody wants to work in vain. You understand? Nobody wants to make enemy and cause people for somebody else for nothing. You understand? Right. So he's pained. He was hoping one day it will get to his turn, maybe or whatever. But leaving somebody in your camp and go and take somebody from opposition or your enemy who did something to you and you are giving empowered person, that is painful to somebody like Onokpasa. That's why he could not bear his thought. And but so unfortunately, Tinubu has said he doesn't listen to social media anymore, that they abuse him. So he's just talking for himself and hopes maybe somebody's going to tell him. So that's it.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll just go around for those who have not spoken on the topic. What we're currently discussing is the Ondo State election. It's looking like another APC win, despite the sufferings and the groanings of Nigerian. APC are winning at the polls. So how do you marry these two when the people on ground are saying Ebion power, but the same party that they're saying is causing hunger are winning at the polls? Righteous Man, how do you marry these two? Quickly, in 2 minutes. And if you have any word of advice for Mr. Onokpasa, please drop it in there.
I have no advice for any Nigerian politician. My stake is this. There was one English language I heard from my father used to quote it when we were growing up, that Zeke spoke. He said, broken bottle has no metaphoricism. So I heard that English from my father. Each time he wants to, describe a situation, he will tell you broken bottle. If that situation is out of hand, he will tell you, Zeke said, broken bottle has no metaphoricism. You see, the issue of Nigeria, unless we choose to deceive ourselves, of which I believe that intentionally or unintentionally, Nigerians have chosen to deceive themselves. The Nigerian masses are not voting for whoever you think that is winning the election. The election is predetermined by the political class in collusion with the judiciary. That's what I'm saying. I voted in the last election. I took risk. I nearly lost my life because the Agberos came there with cutlass and gun and everything. I have to call the radio station. I was reporting live to them what we were passing through. They brought acid and people ran for their life. And at the end of the day, they declared what they want to declare. Look at the Edo election. You think that the Edo people really vote? What INEC gave them was what they voted. Did you not hear that 2 result sheets during the same serial number was used to announce election? One was against APC, the other one was won by PDP. Have you not heard of it? So the issue of Nigerian election, the Nigerian state had been hijacked, captured by those people who think they own this country, and they decide the army is in their hand, the custom, the immigration, the police, the self-defense, all military apparatus is in their hand. They decide, the court is in their hand. They decide what happened to you. If you talk much, you get missing. And when you miss, even in this platform, nobody will remember whether you're existing again or not. So I've asked, why is it that we can't call for constitutional conference to resolve and restructure Nigeria? That question has not been answered. Why is it that we can't sit together and say, look, we can move forward the way we have moved for 64 years. For 64 years, we look at, I'm using Torchlight every day. You think I'm joking? I am in Band A, and they deceived us that Band A will be having light 24 hours. We got no light. We got no light. You can't go to the filling station and buy fuel and begin to power your generator. For how many days? For how many hours will you do that? Nigeria is not working, my brother. There is no grammar. There is no kind of love you want to show for a country that those who are leading it do not want it to work. The elite class in Nigeria does not want Nigeria to work. So they choose whoever they want to lead, and they stamp him there. And that is what is happening in these circle elections we are seeing. And it will continue like that. In 2027, the man will be returned again that he won. That is just the simple thing. And I'm tired. I am tired.
Okay. Thank you, righteous man. Sounds quite frustrated, and one can understand rightly so. Mr. Mori, welcome to the show. Like I said earlier, jokingly, I know that you would appear was a matter of time, but it's good to have you on the show. So we're discussing the Ondo elections. Haven't seen what is going on in Ondo election? Haven't witnessed the Edo election? You're a man that supports Sowore. Sowore wants to run for presidency. He has said he won't stop running. He believes that, if he gets into power, he can fix a lot of things. But with the current situation, with the current structure, do you believe your man Sowore or anybody else stands a chance of even winning an election in Nigeria? Because APC are clearly, they're popular. They're popular amongst the people because they keep winning. What do you say?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Greetings to everybody on the panel. This is a very pertinent question, and a very sensitive one at that. I think now we are beginning to ask the right questions. Before I get started, I want to tell you that this is not an English class. I know you are capable. I have listened to you. You are a very intelligent human being. APC is not popular. They are notorious. There is a difference between notoriety. They are notorious for the bad reasons.
I say that intentionally, but carry on.
Having said that, today is not about. I didn't come here because Sowore. And the last speaker has spoken very well. The reason why I came on board was the same person. Instead of seeing the bigger picture, the elephant in the room, we still leave the object and pursue shadows. People are still pursuing shadows. They talk. Somebody was talking about comparing Sowore with Obi. Let's assume this messianic position of Obi. Obi is a credible candidate. He was, and he's still. So a lot of people have it in mind that Obi won the last election. They might not be far from the truth, considering what happened in Abuja and in Lagos. For somebody to come here and start bashing Sowore is not your problem. You're not looking at the bigger picture. You're making comparison between Sowore and Obi. Even if Obi, let me summarize it for you. Even if Obi gets 30 million, with the arrangement of grant, with the institutions of grant, he goes nowhere. The earlier you get this picture, the earlier you get the question, the moderator is asking, the better for all of us. And you said Sowore has no strategy, and you didn't come up with one of installing Obi if Obi gets more vote than he got the last time. You see the last picture in Edo, they declared. I've not been watching Ondo. I wasn't feeling too strong, so I'm not following Ondo's election. I'm not going to follow 2000. I'm not for 2007 election because I've already know the result. They declare Ondo election result in Edo. They declare 2000. They tell you the pattern they're going to go. You are here comparing Shogure with Obi. I mean, people are not getting the question. The people leave the object and still pursue shadow. See, let's everybody queue behind Obi. With the arrangement on ground, he is not going to make it. He's not going to work. This is the bigger picture. This is the bigger elephant in the room we have to deal with. Somebody here comparing Shogure has no strategy. Shogure is this, Obi is this. He did it in Anambra State. The court that assisted, the court Obi dealt with in Anambra to regain his mandate or to come back from the impeachment. It's not the Nigerian court you have today. The what you have today is a case of an armed robber taking your asset from you, taking your money, taking your cash from you. He's telling you to go to court where another armed robber is waiting for you. You're not getting the picture. You compare it between Obi and see, with the arrangement of grant today, I don't want to mention Jesus Christ, so that people will not accuse me of blasphemy. The best man in the world comes to Nigeria today to contest election. With the you are not getting the greater picture, the state capture and the mafia behind the scene. This is what you should get and start thinking of. What do we do? What do we do? If any election under Mahmoud or somebody like Mahmoud, with Obi, people that are better than Obi 100 times, or put Obi character, Obi credibility, multiply it by 1 million. He goes nowhere with the arrangement of ground. Obi, Shogure is not your problem. The earlier we start dealing with the issues on ground, the better for all of us. You see, I don't know what to say. I raised the question last in our last discussion. People miss. I don't know whether they get me right or they were still comparing what Obi did, what he didn't do. I didn't mean to attack Obi. I didn't mean to promote Shogure either. And this is the same question you're raising today. I told them they took it out of the contest. They didn't get my question. With the arrangement of grant, the best Messiah goes nowhere. And I think this is the question you are raising. I think that was what Righteous Man was trying to, deal with too. Not comparing between Shogure and Obi, who is better and who is not better, who has strategy and who has no strategy. No strategy can outsmart this mafia you have on board and his gang of thieves. The earlier we start thinking of what do we do if you go into election, our plan B, if you must go. For me, don't conclude that Shogure will run. Shogure might not even run with the way Shogure is talking. Shogure knows what is on ground, but he has tried, I think three times already. I did the third time, 2019, 2023, 2020. Shogure is not as foolish as people think he is. He knows so much about Nigeria because we have come a long way in the trenches together. Shogure has been fighting for Nigeria, the same problem Ojuku fought for. They are still with us today. Nothing has changed. So Shogure knows a lot of things happening in Nigeria. He was on the sideline trying to criticize. At a point, he felt that they were not moved. The essence of forming Sahara wasn't just for monetary gains. He had a mission. He had a lot of things he did through Sahara, revealed a lot of things about the Nigerian nation. He discovered they were not moved. The more he was revealing, the more they were getting stronger. They were even making money from it. The mainstream media, we are even making money from Shogure's revelation and discoveries. He said, let me join. The risk he took leaving America. He was already on a blacklist before he left America to go join the Nigerian political. When people come here to just, castigate Shogure, they talk to Shogure as if it's, they talk to Shogure anyhow. They don't know the risk that guy is taking. People, see, I said one day, in one of our, incarcerations, when I left Zone 5 office, SIB Bini, instead of going south, I was going north because I've lost my orientation. So most of us has come a long way. So as if we don't know what we are dealing with. Instead of here coming with what we can do, people are still making comparison, unnecessary comparison that will not take you anywhere. It's not about Obi and Shogure who is better. It's state capture is what we are dealing with. So if we must go into election, which I don't subscribe to, our plan B, as Obi was winning everywhere the other day, our plan B that if they make any mess or they try to repeat what they have been doing, have the plan to hit the street or to cause commotion in that they are any. The reason why I just came here, if you're with it, you cannot take this one away. I know you would. I'm not here to deal with the credibility or otherwise of Obi and Showore. If you must go into 2027 election, which is the mindset of the man that was castigating Showore, for lack of a strategy, have plan B with you. That as Obi was winning the other time, he must not go to his house and sleep at 2, 3 a.m. He must be ready to be there with them in the hall, and if with a full soldiers surrounding that building. So as they are manipulating the result, they will be hearing what is outside. They should be known that they are not coming out of that room alive.
Thank
so
you,
they must be ready to have plan B to do the extraordinary. If you must, if a winner must emerge, it's not just about credibility of Obi, qualities of Obi alone. It will not help you in 2027. You are making a mistake. It's delusional.
What is his plan?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your submission. To those who wanted me to cut Omori short, the reason why, as moderators, there's things we look at. So Omori has a totally different idea to most of us. So when 8 people are leaning towards one side, and you have one person speaking for something totally different, you tend to give them more time. That's the way we handle it, because there's no point listening to 9 people who are saying similar thing. If you give them 2 minutes each, that's 2 times 9. And you've only given somebody who is saying something on the other side just 2 minutes. So when we moderate, that's what I said at the beginning, please let me moderate. There's a method to this madness. We know what we're doing. At least trust us that we know what we're doing. John, you look bored, you're yawning. Sure, please,
sorry, I'm not feeling too well today. So
oh no. Yes,
sure, please. I want to go for lunch. Can you give me 1 minute to respond to my brother Omori? If you
not respond to him, because if we want to respond to you, just give your final submission and I would take you out in 1 minute. Your final submission is fine. Go ahead.
I just want to tell my brother Omori that I wasn't comparing Showore and Peter Obi. You misunderstand what I'm telling you. I didn't come here to make comparison, but I'm stating the obvious and the facts. So the point is that there is no emotion attached to what I said. And what I said, that it is factual, is the truth. And also, I want to remind all of us that
you're muted.
It's not the truth, it's your opinion. It's not the fact, it's your opinion. Your opinion is free. And
you're muted. You're muted. I didn't mute you. I'm not sure what happened.
Life itself is a risk.
Right.
If every one of us here begin to tell you the risk each and every one of us are taking in our lives, maybe we are not going to have any other discussion in the next 6 months. So life itself is a risk. Okay. So everybody has taken risk in life. But the thing is that what kind of risk have you taken? And the risk you took, was it for your own selfish benefit or for the benefit of others? Those things are risk. So I just want to state clearly before I leave, I will come back later, that I wasn't comparing, I was just stating the obvious and the fact. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you, Uncle Ike. There'll be another show hosted by Forefathers as soon as I round off in the next 45 minutes or thereabout. Okay, thank you. John, welcome to the show. I think I've seen you in one of the shows I've watched lately. I don't think we've been on the same panel, but good to have you with us. You've listened to the conversation. So we're discussing Ondo election. And not just, so when I discuss these things, I'm not just looking at Ondo. I'm looking at the trend. Edo, Ondo. The president said, do you want me to give you Edo State? They said, yes. He gave it to them. Now, Gadoji said, the template is ready. We've done it in Edo. We'll do it in Ondo. It looks like they are doing it. So is there any point in contesting going forward? If there is, what can be done? What do you think will be the steps to take for the opposition? If you're advising the opposition, what should they do going into 2027?
Thank you. That's a very beautiful topic you brought out. There is no point contesting for an election. It's like going into a match where the referee is going to cheat. There's no point participating in such game because the outcome before, no matter how well you play, right? The election is going to be rigged. You see, Nigeria's problem, right? we have to talk about the electoral process. It is highly faulty. And with such faulty system, you can never make any progress. If we like, let's do the next 2000 elections. We can never get it right, except we fix what propagates the voice of the people. If you look at countries like US, right? Even if you bring the most wicked person to rule United States of America, the laws and the system in place would make that evil person do good things. The same thing can be said for Nigeria. If you bring the most righteous man to rule Nigeria, the system would always make that person do evil. So if we are not going to fight the system, there is no point risking our lives going to vote, because you and I know it doesn't count. And if we do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome, then that is madness. So let us fix the system, fight to fix that system. If the system is not fixed, there is no point risking your life to vote. And how do we fix the system is the next question. There are always examples in this world that we live in. We can always pick countries that are doing well and emulate what they are doing. You can see how they've embraced technology. There is nothing like paper. You vote, you see the result in real time. Once we have such system, then we'll have the confidence to vote. If you don't have that system and you know is the highest rigger that will win the election, there's no point. That's madness. So we can't expect Nigeria to get there, the Nigeria of our dream, to get to that destination that we want and we know we are capable of. We can't expect that to happen operating under this crazy electoral process where one man, after they vote, one man will just say, oh, this is the winner. If you don't like it, go to court. And what we do is, 2027. After 2027, we will hear 2030. Don't worry, 2031, we go again. That's madness. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I've just seen the news. I'm not sure. Today's the 16th. So this news is from today, and it's saying the headline from so many dailies in Nigeria. Business Day, PM News. INEX Beavers machine fails to capture faces of old people in Ondo State. So there's something wrong with the technology that is not even capturing the faces of old people in Ondo State. So how they are going to declare such results, I do not know. But I'm going to come to Eagles here quickly. Please, let's keep it brief because there's one last topic that I want us to discuss. The news that broke during the week that it was alleged that our current president, President Tinubu, is a CIA asset, quote and unquote. I want us to touch on that before I round off and hand over to forefathers. So let's keep this brief. Wally, good to see you. But Eagles here, please go ahead. Ondo elections, what does it mean? Is it of any importance, especially with the sort of news that we're getting now that even, Beavers is not capturing some people's face? They've been disenfranchised. So what's the point? People coming out.
Good morning, everyone. And the reason I'm smiling is that in this panel, anytime is my own time, that time that we know that we are short of time. But I'll keep on giving my faith. No problem.
Join us from the beginning.
No issue. The issue that we are facing in Nigeria is that we have refused to tell ourselves the truth. And where we tell ourselves always truth is this panel, where we come to fight each other and forget to fight people we're supposed to fight. That's the main issue. We are here condemning each other's opinion, but we cannot go outside there to condemn other people, all these political elites' opinions to stand for them. Let me tell you the truth. Nigeria have not come into the level where the citizens will stand up for the right thing they're supposed to stand up, because it has not choked them on the neck. When it chokes them on the neck, nobody will ask you to retaliate. For instance, as a man of prestige is right now, I went to where he is now and begin to hold him tight, serious, and he cannot breathe. What do you expect? he will fight back to make sure that he regain his strength back. So Tinubu and APC have not hold Nigeria where we choke them on the neck that will make them to stand up for their rights. They talk about what happened in Edo State. It will give you a clear vision of what is going to happen 2027. Mahmoud said that they are going to correct the mistake of 2023 election on Edo election. What did you see? The multiplication of what happened in 2023 that you see in Edo election. Now he has come out to say that we have learned our lesson in Edo election. We are going to correct it on Ondo election. And when you look at it, if I look at him as a repented Boko Haram, that's the way I look at it. Because in Nigeria, they say that they bring repented Boko Haram and bring it into society. What did they do? Some of them, they made away with guns. Until today, government of Nigeria, even DSS and all rest of them, could not find them till today. Does it mean that they disappear on planet Earth? No. This is a system that we have in Nigeria. If once you are a criminal, once you want to act as a criminal, the system will give you a chance to survive. The system will give you a chance to triumph. That's where we find it in Nigeria. But are we going to continue to live in a criminal life in Nigeria? No. We cannot continue in sin and grace our binds. So what do we do? What we need to do is to stand up, let the citizens stand up and speak their mind. Look at righteous man, my man, come in an international program with a torchlight. Which message are we seeing in that replay? That means that Nigeria is total dark. Everybody in that country is in darkness. That's the message we are seeing here. Then what do we do to come out from that darkness is to make a step. It cannot remain in a hole where it's dark and begin to look for light. No, you must make a step for you to be saved. One of our brothers here said that in America, even if you put the worst person in America, the institution, the law, the rule of law will make the person to walk in a right standard. Yes, that is true. But when there is a rule of law is no longer recognized in the elite does not recognize the rule of law. The rule of law does not work. What do you expect? Even if you put NJ that place, the rule of law will make him to do whatever thing he feels that he can do, and nobody asks him. Till today, who asked Tinubu, how did you buy the private jet? How much did anybody ask him that question till today? No. Look at it, we are talking about 2027. Wike have planned with Tinubu how 2027 going to be. How do I know? By bringing his wife of Wike to the Supreme Court. Go to court. Who are going to judge it? Gaduje, wife, Wike wife, and all the rest of them. The woman that give somebody that fought in Imo State election to become #1, and people who are going to judge, who are going to make decision. So we found out that Nigeria, what we are practicing in Nigeria is election.
Okay.
We are practicing election. We are not practicing election.
Okay.
We are practicing people who are going to select the criminals are going to stand for us. Talking about CIA, talking about CIA assets. What do you mean by assets? When you talk about assets, talk about something that is viable to you.
So that, we've not gotten to that topic yet. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to
so in my own total submission, is that let Nigeria stand when they feel that they can stand and fight what belongs to them. Because look, let me tell you the truth about Nigeria. The only thing that shake Nigeria, the only thing that shake them when he come out violently, they begin to run helter-skelter. But when he keep on speaking and speaking, they say that after talking, you relax. But what the strategies the APC brought that if you stand up, they are going to arrest you as they arrest minor and bring to the court. So that they want to use these people to begin to put fear in people who want to stand, and which is very bad. And there's no way, if everybody want to go to heaven, nobody want to buy.
All right, thank you.
That's the issue. And when they want to go to heaven, stand up to buy so that you get to that heaven. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sure you agree that was more than 2 minutes. Okay. It might feel like 2 minutes to you, but was well over 5 minutes, just to let you know that, there's no discrimination. It's just that when we have 3 people on the platform, I can't give them 2 minutes each. But when it's 10 people, that's why I said moderators have a job. And we've asked a few people to come and moderate and see how they will manage it. It's going to be quite interesting. A lot of people have turned it down, but let's go to... Oh, Chim. Hello, Chim.
Hi, Phil. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see everybody. Sorry, I came back home late last night, so I've been sleeping. I woke up now to see you guys have gone far. What are we discussing now? Which one?
Leave that to man of. Don't take man of prestige. Don't come and take man of prestige.
Who is posting this
don't
thing
come and take his mantle. If you are not listening, go to the backstage and go and listen and come back. Go to the back.
I want to be sure which one we are on.
So quickly, we're discussing Ondo elections. It looks like APC are winning. I intentionally said APC are popular, not because I'm stupid and I believe that, but I'm just saying that because, on one hand, the people are complaining that the suffering is much, but every election, APC are winning. So you begin to wonder what exactly is going on. What's the way forward? Because a lot of people, you'll be surprised, 2027, you might see a lot of voter apathy. How do we avoid that? How do we mitigate that now that we have like 2 years or 3 years before 2027? And also, Mr. Onokwasa has come out to cry. Rufai's friend has come out to cry that how can the President Bola Tinubu, appoint one of their sworn enemies in Daniel Bwala to replace Ajuri Ngelale?
Okay. Quick one. Let me just greet Man of Prestige. Long time. I can see you're okay. I'm happy to see your face and that you have accepted the outcome. That's the spirit of sportsmanship. So Talkman, thank you very much, but you people are making me blush. So as for the Ondo election, I don't know. Honestly, do I really have anything to say? Yes, APCs, I agree with you. Can I disagree with you that APC is not popular? APC is very, 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 very popular. So, and they deserve to win all the elections. In fact, I'm waiting for them to win Abia State come the next cycle. That's 2027, right? They will win everywhere. They will win. They are working very hard. We can see what they are doing. I mean, you saw the video from the National Security Advisor on the progress they are making. You can see the economy is rebounding. People are praying for the Naira not to get to be 10,000 Naira to $1, and the heavens are hearing. Those are their spiritual fathers are working. They are working in the political sphere, social sphere, judicial sphere. So it's only honest for Ondo people to say we don't want to be left out of this wonderfulness that is happening to Nigeria. So yeah, I think they deserve to win. How do we stop it from happening? If INEC decides to stop rigging for them, then maybe, but this is not to suggest that they rigged the election. I don't think they rigged the election. I think they won. They campaigned very hard. They've been delivering the dividends of democracy in Ondo. We can see all the flyovers that have been built. People have been empowered. The economy is doing so well. In fact, the place to go and invest right now is Ondo State. So it's a good reward for an Ondo government, APC government that has already performed. So it's only common. It's only okay that if the electorate are receiving the dividends of democracy, they don't want to switch to an unknown. So yeah, I think to that extent that is well. Then coming to what's the other question on Okpebholo? Okpebholo is right. Okpebholo.
Call my friend's name properly.
I apologize. I seriously apologize. Let me tell you guys, I told somebody that Bwala was a mole in PDP, and they didn't believe me. I told them, I said, Bwala is a mole. He came to get information and give them on the other side. How do you leave a party where you were given good position? Did you see that he was elevated before that election? And then he left and said he was leaving because of Muslim ticket. And everybody bought it. An average Nigerian politician, an previously unknown quantity that has been given national prominence. And then we'll just leave the ruling party and move to an unknown PDP that was decimated by Peter Obi going to Labour Party and everybody bought it. The guy was a mole. He has fulfilled his purpose and then quietly waited gradually and then came back in. He has gone home. And you can see he's been rewarded for a job well done. My problem is to people like you, Show. When are you going to run for office so that the next contract on how to digitize Nigeria, you will give it to me? Because I need to digitize Nigeria. And I can't do that if you don't get into office and give me the contract. And don't say you can't give me the contract. Wike has told you that will he leave his friends and give his enemies contract? So please, forefathers, you two, you're hearing me now. When are you guys going to go and run for office so that you can give me those contracts?
Wait. We don't have to run for office. You know the accusations. They are loud and they are in the open. Forefather is the number one accused person. I've seen one or two people accuse me. Forefather works for DSS. He works for the government.
What's wrong if Forefather works for DSS?
When he finally goes back home and they appoint him and he does untoward to all of us, then he can say, sure, Como, special advisor to forefathers or whatever matters.
So, my brother, I think the only place I will agree with the Eagles is just to sum it up. We saw what happened in the American election. And let's be honest, irrespective of what we might say about the two candidates, and this is me not being biased. Kamala Harris ran her own campaign the way she wanted to run. Trump ran his campaign the way he wanted to run. The system responded to who they wanted. Simple. And you know that America doesn't have an INEC. People don't seem to remember this. America doesn't have an INEC. American elections are run by the states. It is the states that run an election. So a sitting governor can be governor of an opposing party, and his people will vote against his own presidential candidate. Pennsylvania governor is Democrat. But who won Pennsylvania? Donald Trump. So where I'm going to with that as a closure is until our people and the umpire decide they want to let the will of the people to be, we will keep being in this circle. There are people who don't agree with Donald Trump. There are people who voted AOC and voted Donald Trump in New York. They asked them, if AOC did it herself, nobody told her. She went to ask her constituents, how come you are voting for me or you voted for me and you are voting Donald Trump? I have the reviews. The woman came out openly. She's a Democrat to say this is what they were saying. People were saying, yes, you're doing a good job in the Congress on our behalf. But this guy at the national level is the person we think will do a better job for us. So that's why we gave you your seat back and gave him the presidency. So the day Nigerians decide they want to have a system where I keep saying it here, it's about your interest. And most times, especially right now, is economic. There are people who will say, you know what, yeah, I like DEI, but you know what, DEI won't put money in my pocket. Let me go to this person who is going to improve the economy for my pocket. You might not like it, but that's what it is. So until Nigerians elevate the discussion, right now we haven't elevated the discussion, we will continue to see a popular APC win election.
I had to do that evil laugh. You're elevating the conversation. You like Wahala. I would say nothing. I'll just leave it at that. Soli, you seem very popular in the comment section. A lot of people were shouting you out as soon as you walked in. Nice to meet you. We're discussing Ondo elections, the implication of APC winning another election, despite the suffering in the land. Wale, I see you. Will bring you back in a minute. It's just that I think your camera went off. That's why we took you out. But we'll bring you back in a minute, Wale. But Soli, so this Ondo elections, how do you see it going? If APC wins, what does that say to you? And what does that say to Nigerians?
Well, it says that nothing has changed.
Sorry, I've been told to address you as Comrade Soli. Sorry, I plead your forgiveness, Comrade Soli.
No, I'm popular because I used to say some things that people find outrageous. People don't like the truth.
Okay.
So if I say something that, for example, I'm from Ekiti State, right? I said, my state people, I know they are going to sell their votes. People started going out in outrage, saying, how can I say that? What do I mean? So people cannot make the right decision. And that's going against me. It doesn't make me look good. It doesn't make my people look good. But I've witnessed so many elections.
Sorry, Suli, but are you sure they sold the election? They didn't sell it though.
No, they sold it on credit. They didn't get the money. They did it on credit. Well, carry on, Suli.
So, you know, when I say it about another tribe, people now say, oh, I'm tribalistic. So the people don't like the truth. Ondo people, they will sell their votes. You know, you come here, you have all the information, you have internet, but majority of the people who vote listen to radio. They don't listen to internet, they don't have phones, they don't have all this suffering you're talking about. They just think it's the regular suffering. They don't know it's Tinubu that is causing it or it's APC that is causing it. Until we can penetrate these people by radio level, which is almost impossible because you need to get radio license. And if you do illegal radio, they will be able to track it. It's not like before. So nothing is going to change until that older generation is wiped out, which is going to take years. We've already lost. The people that have information, if they can stand up and stand out and fight, go to every poll unit, scatter the spots, you have to map it out. If you really, really want change, you have to put in the work. People think that APC don't work. People think that Tinubu don't work. They just wake up one day and they decide to just scatter. No, they strategize. I see these people, they plan, they strategize. How can somebody be planning and strategizing against you and you sit down there and you expect them to one day wake up and do better for you? You are not strategizing against them. You are not planning against them. Somebody will sit down there and tell you the truth that, look, the first phase is accepting the truth. These people are going to rig the election. Sit down there and accept it. Don't argue it. Don't believe in any faith. Don't feel that your prayer is going to change anything. Accept the truth. Now, how are we going to curb this vote buying? Because this vote buying is a business. People have, they will go and meet the politician. They will say, oh, I have 10,000 people that can vote for you. I need so amount. Then they will go and meet a PDP. They meet every party. These people that have people to sell votes to, they meet every party. And the person that gives them the highest bid is who they will sell their votes to. So you might have 10 people that have 10,000 people each ready to vote. And they just buy them. They buy them like that. It's a whole business. Does this mean that these people are unstoppable? No. You self carry your own block of voters and you must have one interest. It doesn't matter what tribe, it doesn't matter what religion, have similar interests. Let's remove corruption out of power. When some people talk about Obi or Atiku, I live in the Netherlands. I'm coming from the Netherlands, from a non-corrupt country. I don't want partial corruption. I want somebody who is going to arrest Tinubu. You look at all these politicians that call themselves the opposition. Tinubu is known to be an asset. This thing has been set in court. How many of them are saying it? None of them. They all keep quiet because they have similar interests. How many of them have called Tinubu out, the opposition? How many of them have called him out for being a CIA asset? None of them. That lets you know that they have similar interests and nothing will change if any of them come in there. None of them are going to arrest each other. So if you come in there and thieves are roaming about and you say you're not going to arrest them, do you think those thieves are going to sit there in their house and do nothing about it and stop corruption? No. People have to accept the truth. You have to come in clean. Until the people are ready to stand up, the people have information. We are 250 million people, for Christ's sake. 1% of the population, 0.5% of the population can change the country. But they don't want to. We send them money, you know, we do so many things for Nigeria. We sit down there and we accept their nonsense. If we stop sending Nigeria money, forget sit at home. If we say that for 1 month, we are not sending money back to Nigeria, things will change. It's just little actions, but everybody wants their voice to be heard. Everybody wants to have an opinion. For once in our life, let us all agree to one single thing. Let's start there. But people are not going to do it. So these old people, you see them, they are selling their votes in Ondo State. You know, they say your votes don't count. If your votes don't count, why are these people disorganizing the place? Why are they stealing the ballot paper? Why are they buying votes? If your vote does not count, why are they buying votes? Why are they wasting such money? You have to ask, or do you think if your votes don't count, why will I waste money and buy votes? You know, your vote counts. You just have to be as aggressive as your oppressors, because nobody has monopoly over violence. If you are this aggressive as APC, you have to counter them double. But you won't go around start shouting, "Oh, we're coming for you. We know that you are going to win." Well, you are just letting them do. Does APC announce that they are going to buy votes? Does APC announce their plan? You are announcing your plan, you are shouting, you are telling everybody you are going to fight. They say, "Edo no be Lagos." This one, what happened to Edo? You shouted, you ranted. So the people are not ready. We don't have similar interests. We don't have one interest, you know. So the older generations are the voters. The younger generation, they have nobody to lead them. So they are not even going to vote.
Thank you, Comrade Soli. After this, I have to add Comrade. They don't need to tell me. I know where you stand. And I saw the picture you had before you put your camera on. So
sorry for my camera. I was
no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to say, you know, I know you're a comrade. And I agree with the last point you made.
Just a feedback for Soli. Soli, you look like you're wearing a mask. I was going to ask, is this Robin Hood? But I now realize is the what's it called?
The light, yeah. So I agree with the last point you made, and when you said, you know, APC don't come out to announce they are going to do this, and that, because some of the criticisms that we get on this channel as moderators or, you know, co-hosts alongside Rudolph is we talk all the time. And we've made it clear, abundantly clear, that this channel, no matter how much you say it, it's not going to change. It would evolve, but it's not going to change. The goal of this channel is to present a platform for like-minded people to meet and exchange contact and go and strategize away from the cameras. But people come and complain, "Oh, we talk all the time. We need to be the solution. How do we counter them?" You want to counter them and come and discuss it here. It tells me that you're not even serious. You don't even know what your problem is. But you think we are the problem. No, this channel has given you a platform. Now you've seen Soli. You won't ask for his contact details, his email address, so that you can plan and discuss behind. No. But let's come here. Let's discuss the solution. If we don't discuss it on air, we will die. Everybody wants to be the one that provides the solution on air. That's not the way it works. So exchange contacts by all means. Rudolph has said it. He said he writes, you know, articles in different publications. When you're ready, when you've done something, when you have something to publicize, when you have plans that are, you know, you've added flesh to the skeleton, bring it and I will help you publicize it. But no, this channel, we talk every day. Our job is to talk. Those who want to organize and discuss solutions, it's a great opportunity to meet like-minded people and go and discuss it behind camera. I'll come to you, Wale, but before I come to you, Wale, please let me just confess. My uncle is not a senator. My uncle is not stealing money, because I know you will see how you go and ask my uncle. My uncle is not a senator. My uncle is not stealing money anywhere. So good to see you, bro. The floor is yours.
Can I just counter one thing? I'm not saying people should not come
out. I'm not talking to you. No. Oh, the sub has gone to where the sub needs to go. It's not you.
No, from what we said before,
yes,
it's okay to strategize, you know, and talk about your plans in the public. Now, the Kanu did it, and he did it very, very well, and he was always getting things done. The thing is that there's always a mole. Even on this platform, we should expect that there's a mole on this platform that will be supporting and pushing and saying we should organize and do it. But you strategize in a way that even if they hear your information, even if there's a mole, there will be nothing they can do to stop it. That is a force.
Okay. Thank you. So, how long, Chim? How long?
No, just to quick. It's not going to be up to a minute, sir. So, Soli, I hear you. I understand you. But the whole concept of, I mean, nobody goes to no good general leading an army openly to discuss their strategy. You know this now. You've watched movies, at least even if you don't know it really as a military officer. We've watched movies, we've seen things, we've listened. Nobody discusses their strategy in the open. General Tinubu does not discuss his strategy in the open. That's why he's winning. When all of us are, you just go and discuss with his inner chambers and tell them their strategy, what to do. That's why you see that Lieutenant Colonel Simi, I'm intentionally using military terminologies for them, you know, did not come and make comments about how he was going to win local government election, but you saw how he won it, how he checkmated somebody. So I think the lesson in what Show is saying is simple. We will discuss issues in the open, but those nitty-gritties that require the kind of thing you're talking about are not things you discuss in the open. You can't. You dare not do that. If you do that, you're just giving out too much. And I'm assuming those things are serious. You can't be discussing it in the open and somebody already knows what is in your mind, how you're going to. No, you go and discuss with like minds. Oh, I want to run for office, or we want to sponsor people who will run for office. And you discuss it quietly, keep it to yourselves, accomplish it, and then measure your successes. But to come to the open in the news cycle and be discussing how you want to win an election, it doesn't happen anywhere. You will just be giving out too much information.
Thank you, Chim. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Tinubu said we will take it, we will grab it. He said it's a one of everybody.
That is the surface level. You've also said we want to topple. I beg your pardon. We've also said we want to change the government. We want to change the system. We've all said that we want to change it. We don't like it. That's as far as we should say. But you can't come and discuss everything. But that's a topic for another day. Wale, the mic is yours. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Sure, I greet everyone. Typically, I can see this part of us as Nigeria. You know, everybody wants to say their own thing. It's me first. I'm the brightest, which is good in a way. We are all, have something to say. But anyway, that's not where I'm even going. Everybody has spoken. I'm not going to keep repeating what everybody has said. But I'm looking at it like why we can't get it right, despite all the educated, well, maybe educated illiterate. But then I'm kind of thinking in my head, what could be the solution? I think the police and the judiciary could be the solution to that country's problem. And the reason why I said that is, most of us that live, abroad, there's no, they wouldn't say don't break the law. Not that they don't have their own corruption underneath, but that once you break the law, you pay the fine. So two things that Nigerians are actually not getting right is that law aspect and the godliness, because those are the two things that will stop anybody from doing any evil. If you are very godly and you know that, according to the scripture, you shouldn't do evil, love your neighbors like yourself. You shouldn't do evil to your neighbors. You will think twice. Your conscience will, kick you and say, no, what you're going to do is not good. But we are only, I wouldn't say everybody, majority of Nigerians are religious. They're not godly, because people will come out of their churches and mosques and still they will know that the business you give them to do, they are ready to bring you down. So at what point they don't really have the conscience to think that, wait a minute, what I'm doing here, I can't even sit on two chairs at the same time. I can't drive two cars at the same time. I can only sleep on one bed. So what's the essence of all the mansions in Ikoyi, Lekki, Port Harcourt, everywhere? Just mental problem. Anyway, what about the law aspect? We all know, we've seen it. We're not living in our villages anymore. We're abroad. They wouldn't stop you from driving your Ferrari on 1,000 kilometers per hour. But once you are caught, you know what the fine is going to be. And you're not going to say, oh, police officer, take these tips now. Should you'll be my papa. Or you tell them that, do you know who I am? It doesn't work. So if we can get the police right, and I think during the NSAS, the police, they are even fighting for. I'm not even seeing it. Have you seen their barracks? Have you seen how they live? So those are the kind of things. And I'm thinking to myself, because when she will say, oh, my papa no be senator or anything, if we look deep down, let's take it from the religious aspect. People will go to church and mosque and they will still perpetrate this evil. Let's say my wife, my brothers, they are, they go to their churches and that the GOs tell them all sort of things. I'm like, come on, can you not think? But they are my brothers. Am I going to kill them? So that's one thing I always say to them is salvation is personal. If you like, as you lay your bed, so you lie on it. But because it doesn't affect me at the moment, I might say, oh, that's fine. But the day is going to affect me. What am I going to say? I say, oh, no. So until we ask ourselves, they said, he who wants to come to equity must come with a clean hand. And if it's easy for me to pull it's easy for me to pull the wool from show's eyes without looking at my own eyes. what is actually rotting in my own domain. So if we try to be honest with ourselves, either religiously or we stick to law, I think we will get it right. But we are too selfish. We don't trust each other. We're too greedy. I know better than you. All those mentality, we worship money too much. And we can't get it right except if we lie to ourselves. Look at what is happening in Edo, Ondo. Probably they've weaponized the people that they can't even think straight. It's all about wherever Bele face. How can someone like Bwala come and talk to me and I wouldn't think that, wait a minute, this man that speak with both sides of his mouth, has he got any integrity? Then Reno or Mokri? Have we forgotten that Wike said he will never go to cancer from malaria? Where is he today? So, I said we don't, to be honest with ourselves. Where are the Lai Mohammed, the Buhari regime that how come Nigerians forget their problems so soon? APC to APC. And now we are complaining. I beg, 2000 will come, will still be on the Yakubu, as long as he remains the INEC or whatever they call it, and they keep turning beaver on and off. Are people not working for Yakubu?
All right.
Let's be honest.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wale. Righteous man, I can't take your comment. So what I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes is I'm going to slowly transition and hand over to forefathers for the next stream to start. But before I do that, I might not be able to join the show from the beginning, so I'm not sure what the exact topics would be. But the President Tinubu being alleged to be a CIA agent or asset, which wasn't used in the document. It's about semantics. I've seen a lot of people say the word asset wasn't used and all of that. But, it borders on national security, and it's a topic forefathers is quite keen on, national security. So I think he would do justice to it. Unfortunately, we're not able to touch on that topic. So I will leave that. If forefather pleases, he would incorporate it into what he wants to discuss. But the one I want to discuss quickly with forefathers, I've seen the proposed budget, forefathers. It is 47.9 trillion naira. That's the proposed budget. Now, I've gone back to look at the last two budgets. 2023 was 21.8 trillion naira. And that was equivalent to $47 billion. In naira terms, we went up the following year. Year on year, we went up from 21.8 trillion to 27 trillion, almost 6 trillion naira more in 2024. But guess what? The $47 billion from 2023, our budget was $34 billion in 2024. So from 47 to 34. Then this coming one, the budget is 48 trillion naira. It is $27 billion. So year on year, our budget is reducing in dollars because Nigeria is a dollarized economy. Everything we buy is in dollars. The cars we buy for our senators, dollars. The cars we buy for our presidential, whatever, dollars. The houses we build for them, everything is imported, dollars. Everything is dollars. So how do we expect to run the country when how much we are putting in every year is dropping? And even with this 47.9 trillion, there's a 13.8 deficit. They don't have 13.8 out of the 47. How are we going to finance Nigeria in this coming budget financial year? That's my question to you.
Is it for who?
Yeah,
for me?
For you. Yes.
Oh yeah, this issue I raised it yesterday in the weekly update that I do, and it's a serious problem. I don't know how, man, Nigerians, they really take nonsense. I guess from 40-something billion to 27 billion is not a big deal for them because it's neither here or there. It's not like the UK that spent 1.5 trillion equivalent of resources. So, but the nature of our leaders is so grand that they are even impoverishing themselves too. Because if you are stealing money, let's say you are stealing 50% out of 47 billion, now you reduce it to 27 billion. What kind of move behavior is this?
That's $20 billion less in the space of 2 years.
Yeah, this is why I said this is what makes that accusation of him being an asset. You don't always take word, based on what the denial that the agencies made in America. is based on action too, and their behavior, the behavior of our leaders. They are sabotaging the nation. I've been saying this for over 1 year since you can see the results. They floated the currency, and that pastor, what he did there, oh God, it's disgusting. He said it was the people that were buying oil that are the reason why the currency depreciated, when he should know that it's because they floated the currency, that they didn't need to float. You just claim that you want to defend the currency. You want to stop defending the currency because you don't have the money to defend the currency. Yet you remove subsidies, which should give you money or give you wiggle room to defend the currency, or do a managed depreciation so that you can reduce the amount you spend on defending the currency. Not to mention, Dangote refinery is coming on stream, which is going to reduce the demand for the dollar by 30%. All that, they still went and depreciated the currency. This is sabotage. I don't understand any other way to describe it. Because if you know there is an organization that is coming online to reduce your demand for the dollar by 30-something%, why would you go and float your currency then? Because your need to defend the dollar will go away. The Naira will go away. Because all the resources that are coming in, it will reduce the demand for the dollar. But yet they went and floated the currency. Now you see the black market is 1,700 and something Naira to a dollar, and official rate is around 1,500 or so. They said they are going to take care of all this thing. The system is still in place. You depreciate the currency for nothing, and you destabilize the Nigerian economy. Businesses are losing money. People are not able to spend. Then they raise inflation. The entire thing was designed to keep the country stalled. The Nigerian economy should be heading towards $1 trillion now. It should be, because with Dangote refinery coming on stream, our currency should be appreciating, and the currency value should be increasing. So by the currency value, even if it appreciated by just 10-20%, from 500 billion dollars GDP, you'll be heading to 600 to 700. You'll be heading there, and not to mention the income that Dangote is going to be bringing into the country on top of it. It will increase the supply of the dollar. The entire thing is sabotage. The entire thing is sabotage. They have harvested so much money. Where do you think all that money went to? People are investing in Nigeria and harvesting money out. They are not doing anything. This is ultimate round tripping. That has been happening to our people, and our people don't even know it. They didn't even see it coming. And this is why when they say it's an asset, you begin to wonder why. Where did Cardoso go and get training? He got training in American I think Treasury, I've forgotten what they call it, where they go for training, financial institution in America. That's where he went. And he came back to Nigeria and instituted this policy and defended it under President Tinubu. To be fair to him, Cardoso wasn't around when Tinubu floated the currency. They hadn't even appointed their CBN governor when they floated the currency. Right. Can you imagine?
Okay.
Sorry, let me finish. This is why the top, it matters a lot. If the person at the top want to sabotage the economy, you can see how easy it is. All they have to do is devalue all your work. They will just devalue it and it will mean nothing. All the businesses that are working in Nigeria, if you buy a property today, tomorrow, let's say you spend 20 million buying a property in Nigeria, and you are hoping that you're going to get $50,000 out of it. Before you know it, the value has just depreciated, and you go and sell it, you're going to lose money. Then, not to mention inflation in the country, the entire thing is a sabotaging system that they've created. And it's a real shame that we as a people are not waking up to it. And I don't think these leaders are going to change until the people's eyes open to it, that these people, you have to hold them accountable, that if they do things that are sabotaging your country, people should be calling them out earlier. Nobody called these people out earlier. They allowed them to do these things. The economy has completely been flatlining, and even till now, they still have a chance to redeem it too. They still have a chance. Nigerian economy is not that hard to fix. Just make sure Dangote keeps supplying petrol to Nigeria so that the demand is not increasing. Then let Dangote keep any money and bring it into Nigeria. The Nigerian currency will appreciate. When it appreciates, the petrol price will drop because they are pegging it to the dollar. The petrol price will drop, and people will start seeing the benefit in their pockets. This is something that can be done quite easily. And that currency that you float, manage it so that it is stable, so that businesses can predict. It's not that hard to fix Nigeria's problem. These people are just there, sabotaging the economy, allowing the currency to still keep depreciating. For what reason? Dangote is already making money for Nigeria in terms of the dollar supply. So why is the currency still depreciating? Man, the entire thing is just shambles, really. It doesn't make sense what I'm seeing in Nigeria. And Nigerians should be truly, truly a kind of aggrieved by some of the things their leaders are doing. This is sabotage. This is not, they don't know, they are mismanaging. It's sabotage. Make no mistake. They are not stupid. Those who are quite highly educated. I've seen many of their series. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, forefathers. Quite passionate topic right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a few announcements. Yes. I'm just going to make a few announcements and end this stream, and the next stream would start. Forefathers, if you please share the link to the second stream while I just round off and make a few announcements.
I think I'll just continue from here because the next stream is about 2 hours. It's not even going to be 2 hours. The other guys will come in again. Then I think I put the stream after them.
Oh, it's 3 hours. I'm finishing on 3 hours, and you have till 11 p.m. UK time.
Is it 11 p.m.? I thought they said no. I think they are coming earlier.
Why?
Because of their time. Now, let me see. I think it's showing. Okay, is it 8 o'clock now?
It's 8 o'clock. We agreed to keep everything the same way it was.
Let me see. 11 p.m. Okay, theirs is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so we agreed to keep everything the same way it was. So, just in rounding off, the ladies are going to be having a show right after Forefathers. Forefathers is going to be your host for the next 3 hours. Then the ladies are going to be coming to discuss. I'm not sure what the topic is, but I'm sure they would highlight it in the comment section at some point today. Also, I've noticed that we don't get ladies join us anymore. You know, come and join us. Let's discuss politics as well, because it affects everybody. The idea of I don't like politics, if you like, don't like it. Politics likes you. It's going to affect your life, your children. You know, everything you do is affected by politics. So please come. You know, we're not as hostile as you like to make us. We're a friendly bunch. Especially one forefather is hosting. He even tells you, interrupt anytime. Do whatever you like. The rules don't apply to you. So please join us. You know, help us calm down the tension.
No, now all we have to say is
join when Belshazzar issues are being discussed.
Okay. So I'm just imploring the ladies, you know, make time to join us and let's discuss these issues. They affect all of us. Also, Righteous Man said we don't look for anybody even if they disappear on this panel. I disagree. We do ask for our panelists if we don't see them after a while. You know, we do ask, and we support our panelists as well. I know that I have, and I know many other people that have, especially people in Nigeria. We don't buy data now, so we've done one or two. So don't give us a bad name, Righteous Man. Also, please like the broadcast, share, subscribe to the channel. One more time, we'll be moving to Roku Post TV. You can see it top right-hand side of your screen. You can see Roku Post TV. So please subscribe to that, because from January, these shows will be hosted on Roku Post TV. And if you come to Dr. Damages, all you're going to see is Dr. Damages in his lab coat and the satire and the rest of it. Let me end on a positive note. I saw a video and I thought it's quite beautiful. The potential in Nigeria is one of the things that will probably enrage you to think, why are we not making the most of this? But when you think of insecurity, you would understand why people are not buying into this. Watch this video.
This place plays a significant role in the tourism landscape of Nigeria. I mean, look at how beautiful it is. Damn. My goodness, look at how crystal clear the water is.
So that's Bauchi State. Something
there's no money to steal there. That's why it's not.
Where is that Yankari Game Reserve?
Yes, it's Yankari. So no, it's not even stealing money. I'm just saying, you know, the amount of money we can make from tourism if we, you know, did things like that.
You don't
I just thought I would play something
positive. There is no immediate money to steal in it.
Okay, I hear you, but I'm just saying. I want to round off so that forefathers can have the full 3 hours. I'm just saying I decided to play that just to show something positive, so it doesn't seem like it's all negative. That's a recent video. Follow that guy or check him on Instagram. His name is authentic_cyclist. He cycles everywhere in Nigeria and he takes beautiful pictures. He paints Nigeria in positive light. You know,
sure, let's go together.
That should be encouraged. Authentic.
Let's go together.
What? I said follow him on TikTok, on Instagram.
Okay. Let's go and visit the place together.
I didn't tell you I wanted to go. I just said I wanted to show something positive about Nigeria. On that note, I'm going to play Ori Akojade, the withdrawal hymn. Let me find one banger. And thank you all for joining. Of course, I have to thank you, the people in the comment section, those who contributed, who sent super chats. Dr. Gomez, Tokwe Henry Gabriel, CCO, thank you for your super chat. It's part of what keeps this channel running. We really appreciate you. Like I said, please stay behind and continue with Forefathers. It's going to be moderating for the next 3 hours. And immediately after that, the ladies are going to be having their show. I heard it's quite spicy around there. So please make it a date.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland, with love and strength and faith.
The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Hey, that's so. Oh, yeah. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in